Thank you. I appreciate it, bro.
Ew.
Yeah, not to praise the Texas Longhorns.
Shout out to the Longhorns.
But that's a very
Shout
fire
out.
hoodie. I can't even front.
But no.
Yuck. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, I guess. Complimenting each other. All of us. Very handsome, very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Facts. Facts.
Beautiful gowns on this podcast, except for me. I'm wearing the white guy tech bro chic. Got on khakis and a button down. Like, that's incredible. Welcome to One Take Podcast, episode 134. Just like we always are, we're a day late and a dollar short when talking about these Oscar nominations, but you will not find any better coverage or commentary about the Oscar nominations than you will on the One Take Podcast. Because we have the
objectively true
of all secret weapons. Miss Picciarino, Mo, is here from What We Watch to talk about these Oscar noms. How you doing, Mo?
I am so glad to be here again. It's lit. Guys, you know, I wake up at like a really decent hour every day because I live a really cool, leisurely life. But I was up, baby, at 5, 6 a.m., ready to chat. My texts are full of Oscar nomination conversations, you know, opinions. So I'm glad I was like, you know, I got to get on One Take Pod. My guys, we got to talk about it. We always have.
I was also up. That's the one day morning. I'll never get mad about being up. I was up and ready to hear Oscar nominations, and I was ready for a controversy. And we got a little bit.
I legitimately woke up like 3 hours early because I couldn't see.
Wow,
like I was hyped, bro. I fucking love the Oscars.
I love the Oscars too, but I literally had 98 text messages between group messages of people being like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe?" And I was like waking up at 10 and like, "Whoa, what?
Top Gun screenplay? What? Andre Riseborough? Are you serious?"
Brother, we got to talk about that in length. Anyway, yeah, Dex got a new computer, sounding crisp.
Hey, we out here.
Looking good, sounding crisp.
MacBook Pro boys, let's go.
Okay, we're moving up. Welcome to the MacBook Pro life. MacBook Pro life.
We out here. Gang, gang.
Love it. All right, let's talk about the Oscar nominations. Let's just start at the very top. We'll talk about the 10 Best Picture nominees.
Yes.
Starting in alphabetical order, All Quiet on the Western Front from Netflix snuck in there as a nominee. There was a lot of back and forth on if that was going to be nominated for Netflix, but they put their entire tech bro money behind it, and that is what they got.
I told y'all.
Yep.
Check the tape. I told y'all.
Money
You did
talk.
that.
Money
Avatar.
talk.
And speaking of money talks, Avatar: The Way of Water got in there with a Best Picture nomination, much to the chagrin of Less Than Humble Tej.
Thanks a lot, Mo. And One Take, y'all did this. This is y'all's fault.
I apologize deeply, you guys.
You should.
So sorry.
I don't. In a normal year, it would be in there no matter what.
This
No.
is. There are so many other films. I have like 5 films I would have put in place of that.
It is.
This is like
It is a
visual.
technical marvel. You cannot deny that.
This is a visual effects win. Period.
Yeah. So Avatar gets in. James Cameron, we'll talk about him in a second, doesn't get the directorial
In the dirt.
nod. But
Good.
He said he's totally not mad and okay with it because he's like, I'd rather have the producer nomination and best picture nomination anyway. Totally
I'd
not.
rather have the $10 billion that this movie made or whatever the fuck it made. I'm sure you'd rather have that.
It's the 6th movie all time to cross $2 billion.
Yeah, I'm sure he can process this and deal with it in an adult way.
He's the literal meme of wiping his tears with dollar bills.
Yeah. Exactly.
A movie that I'd like to get your opinion on because we are split on it on this podcast. The Banshees of Inisherin comes in and it is sitting anywhere from the favorite to like 3rd place at this point. But do you have any thoughts on the Banshees of Inisherin?
Oh shit, better not win.
So how are y'all split? Who's
Tej didn't like it.
But you and Dex love.
I like it a lot more than even those two did, but Dex even had it ranked in his top 15, 10.
Yeah, it was top 15, not 10. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mo wouldn't have it in her top 15 either.
No, I'm not going to have it in my top 15. I watch really great films. But you know what?
I'm above you, plebs.
You didn't see 15 films better than the Banshees of Inisherin last year?
Absolutely did within the last year. Here's the thing.
I can give you 25 of them.
I may not be as So here's the thing. I recently finished this film. So I don't know if you guys remember, I was on the Oscars chat last year, I think, honestly.
I think so.
And I talked about like having to watch Power of the Dog in like 4 different sittings.
That movie sucks.
That film is tough.
So Banshees took me 2 different sittings, or maybe 2.5.
No,
and
it took you at least 2, or at least 3, or 2.5 or 3.
I said 2.5, yeah. And I really love the romantic aspect of the screenplay. I really do. I loved it. I said, oh my gosh, look at this unique approach to like identify how it feels for male friendships on screen to dissipate. I was like, this is incredible. So I really appreciated that. But the execution to me was like, okay, I get it from a filmmaking perspective. You're on one island. Okay, we're saving money. We're letting these actors act. Like everybody fucking ate. Let's be honest, right? Like
That's
they
facts.
really did. Like they ate. Barry Keoghan is one of my faves. I cannot stress this enough. I love him on screen. I'll watch anything he's in. You know, Colin Farrell obviously is great, but I was very, very bored. And maybe it's like my effect of, I don't know if you guys saw Lamb from A24. Did y'all see that?
They did.
Yeah, I did.
That
I
shit
did not
stinks.
fuck with that movie at all.
Yeah, and so I think that kind of poured into my experience with Banshees because the set looked the exact same and the scene looked the exact same. And I was like, oh, I'm triggered. So yeah, I mean, I'm like, that's why I asked. Like, I'm split like internally. Like, I really enjoyed the screenplay. I would have appreciated a slightly more like climactic execution of it.
That's
it.
fair. Lamb and Banshees of Inisherin, both pivotal farm animals, play a role in both these movies.
Exactly. And they're like in the homes and they're
Yeah.
like integral to the relationships. And I'm just like, okay.
Makes sense. I see it. I track. I'm tracking what you're saying.
I just
Go
want
ahead.
to say, even though I don't like this movie, obviously, I'm more than fine with it being on this list. The performances are really great, and it's just a fun world to be in. I just wish the story, like something that actually happened in the story, then I would have had fun. But I don't mind it being here. I understand why people like it. There are other films that I have bigger issues with. Let's just say that.
Speaking of Elvis nominated for an Oscar. Baz Luhrmann getting back in there.
Deserved. No notes.
As a nominee, actually. His second Academy Award nomination for like his first ever film that he made, I think back in like the 90s, for forgetting the name of it. But yeah, so Elvis
Moulin
gets in
Rouge
there.
was nominated, wasn't it?
Yes, but I don't think I think it got like song or something like that, but he wasn't. I don't think he ever got anything for that.
Baz Luhrmann is bad, and this movie is bad.
I have come down on this movie because if you go back and you listen to our podcast, I was definitely like, you know what? Fine, sure, like whatever. But it is since kind of just. Oh, he did get nominated. He got nominated for producing Moulin Rouge. It also got nominated for Best Picture. So yeah, that's
Make
good
Dax
call,
go back and watch Elvis Challenge. He's gonna be like, all right, this shit is not good.
I had a good time with all the olds in the theater.
Look, man, Elvis got up there and he was vibrating, and women were passing out in the audience, and I'm like, this is a great fucking time. I'm having
the performance is great. I can't hate on Austin Butler, but that film,
I'm having a fantastic time. This is why I come to movie theaters, to live moments like this that I wasn't alive for.
So this is one of the 3 movies I have not watched. So,
Really?
But it's like more of a.
that just means you have good taste.
Well, no, that's shocking because everybody and their mother has watched this now because it came on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's on
like
HBO Max now.
Yeah, and this is like a very personal like experience for me with just like my relationship with Elvis as a person and like what I know that he did. So it's just like, you know, I'm much more of like the Rocket Man, the who else came out? What's that other film?
Please do not say
Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Don't say
The
Bohemian
Bowie
Rhapsody.
film. Yes, like I'm like much more inclined to watch those films than
Bohemian
I
Rhapsody is tough.
Elvis is way better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian
I
Rhapsody can
will
get
agree there.
Best
And
Picture
they're both
nomination.
bad.
Fuck it,
I'm
Elvis
not even
too.
willing to give Elvis a chance. I'm gonna watch it. And I'll let you guys know, and I'll tweet you guys. But I haven't watched that film yet.
I'll say this about Elvis: at the very least, it took a chance. The Bohemian Rhapsody didn't do anything.
Yes, that's why Elvis is better. I totally agree with that. I
It
absolutely
copy
agree
and
with that.
pasted like a YouTube video of Live Aid.
Or Live Aid.
Right Aid.
And they did the revolutionary thing of actually casting a good actor in their lead performance as opposed to casting a bad actor in the lead performance, and that was a pretty good decision for them.
We'll talk about Austin Butler and him completely losing his mind, but him getting an Oscar nomination.
At least he has an Elvis voice to do and wasn't up there like lip syncing like fucking Rami Malek. I can't believe they gave that man an Oscar.
I can't believe they rewarded him for lip syncing.
They gave that man Bradley Cooper's Oscar for that bullshit.
That's Monique. That guy stinks. He's awful.
Mo.
Look, I know how we feel about Rami Malek.
Defund him.
I'm going to do Rami Malek's acting ability right now. Do you want to look into the camera?
You know what? First of all, I think he's so handsome, which might be you guys,
Oh, Lord.
That. And second of all, he was so good at Mr. Robot. Why did you fall so fast?
He has been coasting on that show for
He's been coasting
years.
on that show.
That show's not good, and he's not a good actor. And
we all
need to get there.
The first 2 seasons were phenomenal. What are you talking about?
He ruined a James Bond movie for no reason.
Reason. I understand. I'm with you. He's a TV guy, guys. He's a TV guy.
And Ana de Armas picked it up and carried it on her shoulders, and that's why she got a nomination.
Well, Shauna Lynch was right there on set, and they were like, "Hey, let's get this. Let's make the main villain this guy who can't act. The worst actor on set. He's our villain. It's him."
Rami Malek's
I'm gonna smash the imagine being mediocre and rich buzzer right now. None of us can be above that, okay?
Rami Malek's best role is convincing people that he's like exotic when he's just a dude from California. Like, that's the best thing he ever did.
Any white person with dark hair can do that. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
Everything Everywhere All at Once gets nominated. The God, Daniel Kwan, Daniel Shiner get another Oscar nomination. Jonathan Wang is also
incredible
a producer.
Cinema.
Bangers, no notes.
No notes.
No notes. You know what? I'll call it. And Dex, I think you did too. Leader in the Clubhouse.
Yes, sir.
They also got the most nominations. What they get?
They
11?
They got 11 nominations, which is like on a historic pace. That's which is kind of disconcerting because it historically over the past like 5 years, the amount of Oscar nominations doesn't matter for Best Picture anymore.
True.
It used to, but it doesn't anymore. And
yeah, well, thank God, because Joker would have won Best Picture and Irishman would have won Best Picture. So I'm glad that
thank the Lord.
You hated Joker way too much for me.
I didn't hate it, but it's not.
I love it.
I don't hate it, but I can't say that I love it. Now they're throwing Lady Gaga in the second one, so sign me up.
I'll be there now.
I'm in there.
We'll be there.
I just think it's very important for us to have women leads in Best Pictures and Everything Everywhere All at Once. We got a 60-year-old, non-American woman doing the damn thing, and I'm ecstatic about that.
Incredible.
We'll talk about the Best Actress nominations, but Michelle Yeoh was nominated, the second leading Asian actress to be nominated for an Oscar ever. The first one came back in 1935. So
yeah.
And not to pat ourselves on the back, but if you listen to this podcast, when we talked about this particular film, we all right then and there, days after this movie dropped, were like, hey, this movie is going to be a real contender for Best Picture, not just nominated. It's going to be in a year where we all had already gotten Top Gun. We knew immediately, and Mo did too, because Mo had people doing videos about the actual film. She understood the importance of the film.
I low-key made a film about the film. All right, Tej was a part of that too. So yeah, shout out One Take Pod, shout out What We Watch. You know what we're here for. Like we told y'all immediately.
We told y'all. We saw the vision immediately upon our first viewing, and it has not aged. It's aged very well. This movie is one of the best movies you've seen this year.
We're talking Q1 2022, guys. Like the Oscars are happening right now. Recency bias is somewhat, unfortunately, a thing. Everything Everywhere All at Once is sustained. Okay.
Some movies that got nominated for Oscars in like lower categories haven't even come out yet.
Right.
So like
we're waiting to see them next week.
Right, exactly. So the by the time the Oscars rolls around, it will almost have been out a full calendar year. To the Oscars campaign for this movie has been spectacular. I don't know, it needs to be studied by I don't know, Price Waterhouse or whoever runs. Like they just need to study this campaign and the way that A24 has run this, especially over the last couple of years because of Coda too, like how they have, or they did Coda with Apple, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it just needs to be studied because it like came out and we were like, this should be nominated for Oscars. Historically, movies like this that come out in April don't get nominated for these kind of awards. And it has withstood the test, the whole rigmarole. And yeah, Dex, you were mentioning, like, I thought it was going to lose steam, but all of a sudden you got Michelle Wan and Kiwi Kwan telling their stories to anybody that will listen.
Mhm.
Stephanie Sue's going on the New York Times. They are moving the football
Everywhere.
Let's fucking go, man.
Speaking of a movie called Coda, I just told y'all this in the chat yesterday, but the Will Smith slap, which we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of, obviously, because it happened at the last year's Oscars. The Will Smith slap literally erased the fact that they gave Coda Best Picture last year from my brain. I had to refresh my memory. My brain had literally forgotten that is the thing that happened.
I argued that you would have forgotten that Coda won anyway.
Well, that's true because no one's mentioned Coda since the day after the Oscars.
I like Coda,
has not been mentioned
but nobody
all.
like
It's
you
fine.
would never known that it
Yeah.
won Best
I
Picture.
like it,
Ever.
but yeah, Best Picture
It's
came out
fine.
of fucking nowhere for that. I'm like, how did we get there?
Which, to just move on, that's why Everything Everywhere All at Once may be the leader, because it has now transitioned in Oscars from being about these prestige films to being about these films with heart. All of a
Feel
sudden,
good
These
films
movies that
that make
people
people
like.
feel great.
Yeah.
Emotion is winning. Love that for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So speaking of one that I thought it has just died, lost steam, but it has a lot of heart. The Fablemans. Steven Spielberg.
Justice for the Fablemans. It has no.
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
think it has
love
a chance
that movie.
anymore. But it's
I love
incredible.
So much. I love
It. You know why? Because nobody fucking saw it.
No one's seen it. But it will make you feel very warm and fuzzy inside and good inside, just like some of these other movies we're talking about.
More
But of course,
people
y'all
saw
haven't seen
To
it.
Leslie than saw the Fablemans.
All right,
Well-
let's reel it back.
I'm kidding.
Let's,
That's
hold on. Wait a minute.
I mean, for a Steven Spielberg film, I definitely thought way more people, but maybe Steven Spielberg's name is just not carrying the way it used to. I don't know. That's crazy to say.
but there's also some weird release stuff with that. We
Yeah,
talked
it like
about
just
it.
didn't really come out. Like,
I'm like, does Steven Spielberg he shouldn't even need, like, in my head, in my like relationship.
Yeah,
with
he
film,
shouldn't. You
Steven
should put
Spielberg
it out.
puts something out, we're watching it. Like, what are we talking
Yeah.
about here? What are we talking
somebody
about?
in the chat said the Fablemans is boring, and I want
Boo.
to fight you. I want to
You
fight
You don't
you.
actually believe that the Fablemans was boring. That is not a thing that someone has said.
Oh
That's
my
not,
God,
it's not
I
boring
was-
at all. It's great.
Oh my
It's
God,
long as shit.
What were you bored by? Like, I don't. Like, what?
No, that I love that movie, you guys. I think it was, oh my God, it was amazing.
I was in the theater crying, so obviously I had a great time.
I tell you what, Michelle Williams is like a manic depressive mother did something for me, so I was never
Oh my
bored.
God, right?
Her dancing in them headlights got to you.
You like when she was dancing in the headlights? You could see
Hey,
through her
man.
little nighty.
I'm a simple man. Just give me a mentally ill mother. We'll make it work. We'll make magic.
All
happen.
that repressed trauma really did it for you. There was a lot going on with the.
Beautiful, man. The lighting in that. Oh my God, I was.
A fuck them kids all star. For real.
Fuck the kids all stuff.
Please,
Hey.
somebody that's watching Photoshop
That's
fucking
incredible.
kids onto Michelle.
Please.
But only the elite will get it. People didn't watch the movie.
That's true. We will laugh and no one else will because no one's seen it.
Oh my God, I literally saw someone make a joke in like response to a Skinamarink post, and it was like a Fableman saying, "I'm like, oh, only a select few will get this tweet. You're amazing."
There are like 17 people who have seen both Cinnamarick and the Fablemans.
Mo is one of them.
Like,
I'm
one
not
of
even in that Venn diagram. Like, that's like, holy shit.
And I was just like, "Oh my God, this is an incredible tweet." But yeah, it's gonna fall by the wayside.
Speaking of a movie that is less than hopeful, Todd Field getting.
Oh, what a goddamn film, man.
It made me hope I never get canceled.
It's
Right.
coming to Peacock on Friday, by the way. So if you haven't seen Tar, it is coming. It is coming to Peacock this Friday.
Guess how
While
many-
you're watching that Ryan Johnson series, go ahead and click on Tar.
Facts.
Both of them.
What were you saying, Mo?
Guess how many texts I've gotten. I was like, okay, Monique, because of your Tar campaign, I'm gonna watch it when it comes out next week. Ugh. I can't believe it.
I am.
It took everyone long enough.
chairman of the TAR for your consideration campaign. Like,
Oh my
I am
God.
out here.
This is real cinema right here. This is real cinema.
No, I mean, I have threatened friendships, okay? I will leave you to your own devices. We will not speak. I will not respond to your text messages unless you watch this film. I do not care.
And if you watch Tar and you tell me that it's bad or you didn't like it, you're like no longer a serious person to me. Like I just cannot.
Our relationship is at risk, and I mean a high risk.
I just cannot like take anything you say about movies seriously ever again because you don't know what you're talking about.
I wouldn't be on this podcast, honestly.
Kate Blanchett literally ascended to the heavens with this performance. She quite literally morphed on screen like a transformer. Like she had to do so much in this role, and she bodied every single part of this movie, bro. Every single part.
My girl heard action and she fucking ate. She was on that set and she fucking ate every time she heard, all right, cameras rolling, let's go. And man, I tell you what, guys, Royden, I hope you love that film too, because I will get off this podcast right now. I can't be around people.
No, I did. I gave it an A+. I thought it was brilliant. But my story behind watching that film was really weird because it was in the middle of the day, and I thought like maybe one or two people would be in there because I'm in a podunk city in Texas. Like I thought, maybe some people would be in there. No one. It was me in my M&Ms in the middle of the.
That doesn't surprise me at all, by the way. That's not surprising.
I live in LA. There were only 2 people at mine.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
It was me being astounded. It was like me, like the what do you call it? The meme from the what's her name? Not
the Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman meme. It was just me watching Kate Blanchett cook, and I was just
we come to this place for magic.
Yeah, it was so weird. I told this story on the podcast when we reviewed it, but they didn't. I don't think they thought anybody was going to go see it, so they didn't shut off the lights in my theater for like 30 minutes. So it was just like I was watching it in my living room, basically.
So yeah,
somebody was like,
you were sitting there.
That
with
white
the
man's still
on.
in there.
You're sitting there with the lights on. The credits roll at the beginning. You're like, what the fuck?
I want my girl to win because she's been in 2 back-to-back Best Picture nominations, and I'm just like, give my girl what needs to be given.
It's gonna be a dogfight for the Best Actress. I'll tell you that much because I think Michelle Yeoh is gonna maybe sneak in there.
Alley was a Best Picture nom last year, right? And
out of nowhere.
Was this year, yeah. My girl is in the good films now. All right.
Nightmare Alley better than Coda. Big fact.
All right. Great. I loved Coda.
Speaking of films that are a film that is way better than both, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah.
Greatest film of all time. Right here. We did it, guys.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we pulled this off.
We fucking did it.
Fucking Top Gun Maverick got nominated for Best Picture. Like, bro,
it was
when they told you years ago that Tom Cruise was working on a Top Gun sequel. Did you ever think Best Picture nomination? Like, holy shit, dude. Like,
we have a Tom Cruise hater on this podcast right now. And we agreed to duck in her face.
I don't know. Maybe you're talking about Royden or Dex. I don't know.
No, I'm
talking about me.
Tom Cruise.
I'm not a Tom Cruise hater anymore. Oh my God, stop exposing
Tom Cruise changed your Grinchy heart. That's how much power this movie has. You walked out and you were a changed person. You said, "Oh my God, how could I not love Tom Cruise? How could I not?"
Single-handedly saved cinema. Like
that's not even her hyperbole. He kind of did.
He saved cinema.
I have a unique and unconventional relationship with Keanu Reeves, Nicolas Cage, and Tom Cruise. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I know those are your dude bros. I get it.
All right, first off,
dudes rock.
First off, Tom Cruise and Nicolas Cage are in a tier above Keanu Reeves. Let's get that clear.
Okay, well, I'm glad there's some sort of relation.
Okay, hold on, Dex. We don't have to do that. I mean, Tom Cruise is in a different tier than every man who's ever acted ever. So I can understand that one. So, Tom Cruise is the god of acting.
But I will say, just to our point earlier about emotions, Top Gun Maverick, oh my God, I went through so many emotions. I was like, wow, I never thought I'd care about some fighter jets like this in my life. I'm in.
That's another episode where we said, this needs to be a Best Picture nominee, and we said it in jest, and then we said, no, we mean this, guys. They might not let it happen, but he did say movie, so he does have a chance. And this is another movie that persisted, partially because it was the number 1 movie in the world for it was in theaters until November.
Yeah, it was in theaters.
Everyone watched this movie. Everyone watched this movie.
Yeah, and like your mom watched this, your grandfather watched this movie. Everyone watched this movie.
Everyone watched everyone liked it.
Yeah,
everyone liked it. Not one. I haven't seen anything. And Twitter will expose the weirdos with the bad takes. I haven't seen one person say they didn't like Top Gun.
Even watching it on their home TV, people have been like, "This was awesome" because it finally came to Paramount Plus after really delaying that, which they kind of played that well because they were like, it's coming to Paramount. And I think it got a big bump after they finally teased that it was actually going to be online. But I don't want to put our guy on blast, but I think Matt Isbear was like, just tweeted like last week, like, man, Top Gun Maverick slaps. And I'm like, I can't imagine watching that on my home theater. I can't do it.
I can't either.
So much. You're missing out on so much like internal like sound. Oh god. Yeah.
When they started those jet engines before they took off on the final mission, I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
I loved it.
Just like the opening scene where Tom Cruise is trying to go like Mach 10 or whatever it is, like, and he flies over to that dude like who's showing up to the base unannounced.
Oh, incredible!
I was like, bro, I'm fucking ready for whatever the fuck is about to happen. It felt like a military flyover, like at a football stadium. Like it felt exactly like that in that goddamn IMAX theater, and I was like, I'm ready.
And it stayed with you through the whole film, right? Like you held on to that feeling, and it like maintained it through everything that happened in the movie. I was just like, this is great. And also, every film is a romance. Top Gun is a romance. Okay, just so Top Gun Maverick is a romance.
Yeah, where's the best supporting actress nomination for my girl Penny? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
They were able to create like the action and the feels of like watching Mad Max Fury Road, and also like the heart of watching The Lion King. They put it in one movie. Like it's that scene at where they're finally doing the test run. You got to make it in 14 seconds or whatever it was. My heart was beating faster than it's ever beat before in a movie theater ever. Like I was literally on the edge of my seat, and I that's why I can't imagine seeing this at home, just because I felt like I was in the movie screen. Like I felt like the jets were flying over my head. So it's like that they were able to do so much. That's incredible cinema. And we did it. It's in the Best Picture nomination where it belongs. Thank you, Oscars. We appreciate that.
I'll say this. It was nominated for a ton of Oscars, but also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Hell yeah.
No one saw coming.
No. I mean,
that was a shocker.
It probably shouldn't have, but like, hell yeah, brother. Like, whatever. But it got hosed. Joseph Kosinski didn't get nominated for Best Director, and it didn't get nominated for Best Cinematography, which feels impossible because they had to literally create new ways to film to film this movie.
To let Tom Cruise be in these jets.
To let Tom Cruise do his thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were when the news got announced. I wonder if they were like, how did we not get cinematography? I wonder if that was the one that they walked away with, or how the hell did we get into Best Original Screenplay? Like those are equally
adapted screenplay.
Adapted screenplay. Sorry, those are equally crazy on both ends of the spectrum. This movie was a center. I didn't see Avatar, so maybe it was equally on par with one other movie. But there's no other movie on that level that gave us the same cinematography that Top Gun did. That was a crazy snub.
So we'll get down to those below the line of nominations in at this pace, like an hour and a half. But the Tom Cruise gets nominated for his 4th Oscar for producing this film as well. 2 movies that snuck in at the last second. It was always up for grabs of what these 2 final spots would be. Someone thought Babylon. Many on this podcast thought Babylon.
Justice for Babylon.
I think we hoped. We didn't.
Justice for Babylon. We love you, Margot Robbie.
Love you.
Some thought Glass Onion may sneak in there with another Netflix spot, but it ended up going, as has been the case over the past couple of years, to a foreign film, Triangle of Sadness. And
technically not foreign, but kind of.
I think it's submitted by France.
Dex, have you seen this?
I don't think it was. Yeah, I did see it. I didn't like it nearly as much as the Academy did.
Mo loved it.
I love that movie.
Was it not submitted by it? I might be out based.
I don't think it's eligible.
So I also, because it uses foreign language heavily, right? And I think we've had this conversation multiple times, and if it hasn't been on this podcast, I have before. But like, I don't think it's technically defined as a foreign film, but to Americans, it's foreign enough to where it's like, okay, there's enough of a language I do not speak in this. There's enough references and, you know, relationships and like cultural aspects that don't feel very American in it. So.
France's film was Saint Omer, by the way,
okay,
which I did not see.
Sure. And Women Talking, a film that 10 people have seen, but apparently is pretty good.
It just came out like last week, I think, and it's only in one theater in Houston right now. So
yeah,
have you seen it, Dex?
No, I'll be going either Friday or next week. So.
Okay, so none of us have seen it on this pod? Okay, cool.
None of us have seen Women Talking.
Literally nobody has seen it. I haven't seen like a commercial for it, really.
Yeah,
it's hard to publicize, you know, like.
Are we problematic? Do we not listen to women talk? Oh
well, I mean, if this came out months ago and we hadn't seen it, I would agree with that, but we would have seen it.
Well, yeah, it came out like last week, so I don't feel bad.
I feel so much better. Thank you, Jen.
Sneaks in there.
It's been hyped up like all Oscar season. People have been like, Women Talking. That's one to watch. That's one to watch.
I've heard a lot of watched a lot of marketing for it. I just didn't know when it was coming out or like where it was going to be. So
sneaks in there with like only like 2 or 3 Oscar nominations in total, I think.
Which like that stunned me because like it's one of those like ensemble-y films. So when it didn't get any acting nominations like Best Supporting Actress or Best Actress, I was like, oh, they must not have fucked with it that much. But apparently they fuck with it a lot, just not any of the acting in it.
They all canceled each other out on the ranked choice voting. That's literally what happened. Honestly,
that's a risk you can run for sure.
Yeah.
True. I want to mention one other movie that didn't make it that should have made it. This should have been. I mean, it never got off the ground, so it's not like it was a surprise on the day the nominations came out that it wasn't there. But nope, should have been a Best Picture nomination. A lot of people saw it, and it's great. And that's it. I'm sorry, Dex. I'm sorry.
I would also like to add The Woman King too, both of which Nope and The Woman King just didn't run any campaigns.
Yeah, I don't. The Woman King. Like I said, I wrote an article for Apollo. Go check it out, ApolloHU.com. I wrote The Woman King. They didn't expect people to like their movie, so they just weren't prepared. Like at any point, the first reviews dropped, and it had like a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, like a critic score, and they were like, "Oh, y'all think this is good? Holy shit! Okay, thanks." And like they were not prepared to do any kind of marketing or any kind of fucking campaigning about that movie. And so they should have gotten
Prince Blackwood is an amazing director. I think I love to see her even, you know, doing the numbers that she does and having the success that she does. Her time is coming. Viola Davis, like you get Viola Davis to lead a movie. It's very hard to make a bad movie with Viola Davis in it. Like it's very difficult.
I don't know how you fuck up not getting Viola Davis at least nominated over fucking Blonde, a movie no one likes.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying?
No one.
Like, what are we talking about?
Ana de Armas doesn't even like Blonde. I know it, bro. Nobody likes that film. Nobody likes it.
I'll take her in Glass Onion, or not Glass Onion, Knives Out over this. Like, what are we talking about?
100%.
What is that awful movie, Deep Water? Come on, we'll do that.
She had a bad year. Best Director, Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, Daniel Kwan, Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg, The Fabelmans, Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. He gets in there surprisingly for this movie, but
surprising to me.
That's an amazing list. I haven't seen Triangle of Sadness, but those other 4, I mean, that's right up there in terms of director. But we should mention that there's no women here again. So, you know, we're doing this again.
We're doing this again, guys. We're doing this again.
Well, that's. I mean, women have won, I think, 2 of the last 3 Best Director Oscars.
I know Jane Campion won last year, and then was Chloe Zhao.
Chloe
Zhao won, and I was gonna say I'm not like entirely upset because she won Best Picture, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Chloe Zhao won for Best Director as well for Nomadland. So
I want to defund the 2022 Oscars because you just reminded me that Jane Campion won Best Director. That is nasty. That film is not good.
But
really?
Yeah, she won for Best Director.
She won for Best Director.
Yeah.
She won. She won for original screenplay too, which bothered me to my core.
Objectively bad movie, like objectively bad.
Congrats to women, I guess.
But you know,
congrats to women.
I think if you nominate women talking, like, why not nominate their director?
That's what I don't get.
Sarah Polley.
Sarah Polley, yeah. Why not, Gina Prince Bythewood, like, why not nominate her? She put together, by any other measure, like in the 90s, like she would have definitely, I mean, it's not the 90s anymore, but like she put together an epic war film, like
led by women.
Led by women, give her the nomination. But
I don't know if have any of y'all seen Triangle of Sadness yet?
No.
I told you, I love it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I didn't like it that much. So he would be the one that I would kick out of that 5, but the other 4 I feel like are pretty set.
I'm literally happy no matter what happens in Best Direction.
Yeah.
I think it's Steven Spielberg. I think they give him the 3rd Best Director nomination.
Do it.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna win. But I was saying, like, if we're talking about like adding in Sarah Polley or adding in
you drop
Blythewood, I would drop Triangle of Sadness from that.
I think I recommend that film, and you know how I am about recommendations. There's a whole side. Roy didn't let Tej watch the movie. Watch it.
I mean, I definitely will by the time.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, not a bad time.
Picture.
It's
There's only
great.
one Best Picture nominee that I'm not watching, and everybody knows what movie.
I'm gonna make you watch it.
No, I'm not watching it.
You're not better than the $2 billion movie. You're not better.
Yes, I am. You know what? Yeah, I'm reclaiming my time from James Cameron. I reclaim my time from him.
I'm just glad he wasn't nominated for Best Director.
You're gonna watch 3, 4, 5, and 6 as well.
No,
that is interesting because like by all accounts, he put together like an incredible looking film. I think it just like they do kind of this kind of shows to me that the Oscars do still kind of care about story a little bit.
Yep.
This more than anything else.
Thank God.
I know this is my fault, but I had a great time. I know I talked about Way of Water way too much. I had a great time. Every conversation I had offline was like, what the hell was this, Monique? And I was like, I had a great time.
I think it's good. It's just that Avatar 2 Hive is like, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, why? Why?
When those whales were doing what they did, I said, this is amazing.
I'm like, why are you in our group chat every day updating me on the Avatar 2 box office triumphantly? I don't care. Like, why do you stand for this movie so hard?
It's not for the movie, it's for James Cameron. It's the same as
the same
Snyder.
Question remains.
It's the same
why?
as Snyder. I don't know. He made Terminator 2 like 40 years ago.
Are they Snydering James Cameron? Oh,
should have made Terminator Best Picture like they were supposed to when it came out 40 years ago.
Oh no.
Release the Cameron cut.
I will say this.
The movie's gonna be 7 hours.
God damn. By the way, he's making Avatar 3 the Fire Nation, basically. He's just copying the actual Avatar show. But
guys, y'all gotta stop watching these movies, please. I'm begging you.
I will not stop watching these movies. I'm sorry. But if it makes you feel better, I didn't like pay any money to see it. So
me and you, buddy. Oh, I watched it with the cast. I had a great time. Not the like special cast, but like everybody that was like just like getting killed in the film. They were so much fun.
Best actor, best lead actor. Some interesting names here. Not a deep category to actually choose from here, but Austin Butler gets nominated for Elvis for doing the Elvis voice. Colin Farrell for the Banshees of Inisherin. Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Paul Mescal sneaks in there for After Sun. A lot of people online are happy about that one. And Bill Nighy for Living, a film which, 2 people have seen also. But Brendan Fraser was the leader in the clubhouse for a while. Colin Farrell has won a couple of awards. Austin Butler also won an award. But Brendan Fraser won the Critics' Choice. What that has to do with this going down the line, because it's like actors and people in the industry that vote on the Oscars. I don't know. I think maybe Austin Butler fucking wins this award.
I hate this category.
Brendan Fraser kind of is falling off because The Whale is not good, and it didn't really get nominated much of anywhere else. I mean, it got the 2 acting nominations, but I think it might have gotten 1 more outside of that.
They have 2 acting nominations for The Whale?
Yeah, Hong Chow.
Hong Chow for Best Supporting Actress.
Wow.
But yeah, it's not good. I know that it got kind of controversial, especially like around Hollywood. People didn't like that it's basically just like look at Brendan Fraser be fat. So it's kind of it's kind of fallen off a little bit, like from where it was in Venice when people were like, "Oh, he's winning the Oscar for sure. He's winning the Oscar for sure." Like that narrative didn't really like take hold like it normally does for these things. So yeah, he's fallen off, and I think Austin Butler can definitely sneak in there and steal it.
He can go be handsome to a bunch of like other, in front of a bunch of people and be handsome and charming and do the, oh, mama, let me tell you about winning an Oscar. Like you're from like Anaheim, dude. Can we chill out?
I really like Brendan Fraser, and so this is not a Brendan Fraser thing, but I find it weird that, like Dex said, there's this controversy about like, oh, here's Brendan Fraser being fat, but then we nominated that performance for Best Actor. But I will agree that it was not a banner year in terms of the male performances that we got on the level that you would think you have to get to be nominated for an Oscar. But I mean, like I said, I don't love Banshees, but I think, I also love Colin Farrell. I would love for Colin Farrell to go up there and win an Oscar. That'd be great.
I've been listening to some things that say that Colin Farrell and Brendan Fraser like kind of like cancel each other out. So that would put
Austin Butler
ahead. So I don't know. Maybe Paul Mescal sneaks in there. I don't think enough people have seen After Sun, but like
it's great.
He's the new guy.
He's that guy, dude.
By the way, he's the new guy going forward in Hollywood, Paul Mescal. For him being stoic and mumbling his way through all of his roles, but I love it. I love it. I'm not bashing the guy.
We're gonna talk about who the next big guy in Hollywood. He also got nominated, but we haven't got to that category yet.
Oh, let's get it. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Barry Kogan.
Because I've been spitting these bars for a long time, and I'm about to take my victory lap, brothers.
I'm with you on that.
Supporting actor.
Let's go.
And Brian.
Let's do that shit. Listen, here's an announcement. Oh, go, Mo. You were saying something.
No, I was just saying it better be Barry Kogan and Brian Tyree Henry if you're talking about the next big names.
Yes.
Best Supporting Actor nomination: Brendan Gleeson, Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, a movie that only Dex has seen, I imagine.
No, Mo's seen it too.
Okay, of course. How do y'all have the time in the day?
I don't. Yeah.
I got invited to a screening. Who am I to say no?
I get extra hours in my day.
Good for Brian Tyree Henry.
Stinks. He stinks. Jennifer Lawrence stinks, so I stayed away from
That's
this
just
movie.
not true.
But now I'm gonna have to see it. Jennifer Lawrence is bad, Royden. I'm sorry, she's bad.
Nah, she's good. She's good.
She's
that movie stinks.
She's never going. For me, she never shines in the movie. Like any movie she's in, she doesn't shine for me, but she's not bad.
So he sneaks in there for Causeway. Judd Hirsch for 9 minutes of screen time in The Fabelmans.
Incredible nomination
awesome.
here. That is incredible.
Oh no way!
Not Paul Dano.
Like Judd Hirsch. I'm like,
hell yes.
Paul Dano was supposed to get this, but Judd Hirsch got it.
If there's any movie that you need to watch now, if there's any reason to watch The Fabelmans, understand that Judd Hirsch got nominated because of this movie, guys. You need to watch. You need to see how powerful this movie is for someone for 5 minutes to get a fucking Oscar nomination.
That's the Laura Dern move.
Well, that's what you have to do.
God.
I was thinking about this point all day, is that you have to do one of two things to get a supporting actor nomination. You have to either come in and like the movie is basically about you, but you're just in less scenes, a la the Joker in Dark Knight.
Yep.
Or you have to come in and throw 115 miles an hour for 10 minutes. And people are blown away and are thinking about your performance after the movie is over, even though you're only in it for like 10 minutes. It's one of two things. You can't kind of just be in the periphery. Like
Judd is definitely the latter.
Yeah. And Judd Hirsch comes in, he rips his shirt in half, he sits Shiva, and they just like they move on about their merry way, and he goes away. It's incredible.
So you can either be Fred Hampton or you can be Laura Dern in The Marriage Story.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
These are your options.
I also think Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza. You know what I mean? Like,
the only good part of that movie.
Correct. Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
Barry Keoghan for Banshees of Inisherin. So he and Brendan Gleeson cancel each other out, but he gets the nomination for being the most heartbreaking character in cinema this year.
When you say cancel each other out, do you mean like it's hard to differentiate between
No,
them?
I mean in when I'm talking about voting, I'm just talking about like they'll cancel each other out in the ranked choice voting.
Honestly, it doesn't even matter this year. Like We all know
because
who's winning this award.
Kiwi Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He's won everything. He's going to win this. Awesome.
Yeah, deserved. No notes. Give him his things. I'm excited to hear his speech. It's going to be awesome.
Said this a million times. He was Data in the Goonies and the in Short Round in the second Indiana Jones movie. He got basically blackballed from Hollywood because Hollywood is racist, and he came back and gave the performance of a lifetime after not acting for years. So, and he got nominated for an Oscar and all these other awards, and he's winning. So he's probably going to win this one.
Incredible story, and he was great, and it's going to be very fun to watch him win an Oscar. But I will just say, I've been saying since Brian Tyree Henry, first of all, he's the greatest. He's an incredible actor. Every movie he's in, he steals that shit. But this nomination, and I haven't seen Causeway yet, so I'm not saying that he doesn't do great, because he does great in everything. So I'm sure his performance is great. What happened here is that he walked into If Beale Street Can Talk, which was itself an Oscar movie, and stole the movie for 10 minutes and walked off the movie in such incredible fashion that they said, we have to watch this kid. And he literally put himself on the Oscars radar by doing that. And he should have been nominated that year. He is great. And I've been saying on this podcast for a long time, every time he pops up in the movie, this man is a leading man. He hasn't been cast as a leading man yet, but he is a leading man. He's incredibly talented. And hopefully this nomination will have somebody take the risk on him and make him leading man, because he's great. And it's time for him to step from behind the people that he's always behind in these movies when he's doing a great job. And let's see what he looks like as a leading man. I think that's coming.
Also, not for nothing, he'll work in anything. He's in everything.
He's working his ass off. He's been working his ass off.
I could not agree more. I've tweeted about this. I've been a Brian Tyree Henry fan since I was forced to watch Widows, because I'm like, what's going on, guys? What is happening here? Great. Similar to what you just said about, I forget what film you're talking about, but just similar to that, he was not in Widows for a very long time. He fucking ate. Okay. This guy, I want to be very clear. Like, there's a lot of controversy around the term movie star in 2023. Okay. Facts. This guy can and will be a movie star. And if they don't give him a chance, you're making a big mistake. Brian Tyree Henry can and needs to be a movie star. He is a movie star. People will watch a movie because he's the leading actor in it. We got to get to this point. We can't be dishonest anymore. I'm with you 100%, Teach.
I like to think
you right now you are going to despise Causeway. you will not like that movie.
After waxing poetic about it, you're not gonna like that film.
Jennifer Lawrence, not a leading woman. Get her out of here.
Brian Tyree Henry was also in the Godzilla King Kong movie. Was that a good movie?
No,
it was fine. But
he was great.
But he was fantastic.
I like to think that this was a nomination for Bullet Train.
Oh my God, he was fantastic in Bullet Train. Now, I will tell you, everyone ate on Bullet Train. Now, usually Brian Tyree Henry stands out very uniquely, but Bullet Train was just fun for everybody. Like fucking, Bad Bunny did his thing. I had a great.
I want to start dressing like everyone in that movie.
Yes, facts.
Everyone. I don't care who it is on screen. Like Joey King, I want to start dressing like her. I don't give a shit.
They're so great.
Everything, it just awesome. My goal is to just have the look of Brad Pitt when I reach 50 with just the bucket hat and everything.
He's Dad Pitt now. Dad
Pitt. Best lead actress. Well, yeah.
Never mind.
To some. Best lead actress. This is the dogfight. Cate Blanchett for Tar. Ana de Armas for Blonde.
Disgusting.
Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, maybe a little category fraud, but who gives a shit?
No.
Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the thing that we're probably going to spend 15 minutes on.
Holy shit.
Edward Norton ruined the Oscars.
Andrea Riseborough, let me get this out. A good actress gets nominated for To Leslie, a movie that came out 3 weeks ago, has made $27,000 at the box office, and she got nominated for an Oscar.
This is awful.
Edward Norton ruined the Oscars. He ruined the Oscars.
Tell the people why she was nominated for an Oscar.
So the backstory is that out of nowhere, about 3 weeks ago, about the time that you're listening to this, maybe 4 weeks ago.
The day Oscar nominations.
Wait, context. This is the day of the nominations open. This is in the window. The day the nominations open. This was a fucking planned attack, and they ruined the Oscars.
Andrea Riseborough, Edward Norton tweets something to the effect. You can still find the tweet. It's just up and alive on his Twitter feed. That Andrea Riseborough's performance is the best thing that I've seen this year. She deserves every award. And you know what? Hold on.
You son of a bitch, Edward Norton. You son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. How dare you?
I enjoyed Glass Onion, and this is how you treat me. This is how you repay me by going to see your movie. I watched it twice, Edward Norton, and this is how you repay me.
This is what you do to us.
Okay. January 10th, he posts, I don't normally post a lot about films or actor performances. Maybe I should more often. But for those interested in really great acting, I'll share that Andrea Riseborough's portrayal in To Leslie just knocked me sideways. It's about the most fully committed, emotionally deep, he made a thread, physically harrowing performance I've seen in a while. Just raw and utterly devoid of performative BS. It's a tough but really elegant and compassionate film, in quotation or in parentheses, by Michael Morris, where the emotion is really earned. I happened to catch it, and wow, I was really staggered by the depth she reached. Very rare. Check it out.
Does
hashtag ad.
Yeah, does the tweet say ad? Does it say sponsor?
Put ad on the damn tweet, Edward Norton.
Brought to you by To Leslie.
Did he mean to tweet that about Viola Davis or Kate Blanchett? What are we talking about here?
Turn that up, Monique. Turn that up. You meant to tweet that about Viola Davis.
Is that you made a mistake, sir? You made a mistake.
So then that sentiment, in some form or fashion, was copied by none other than like 10 other Hollywood elites within the next few days.
You missed a very important part of the story, though. Edward Norton is friends with this woman. These people are friends. So it's not like Edward Norton popped in a movie one night and was like, oh my God, this unknown performer or this little known performer did so great. I want to shout her out. They are friends. So I
was getting to that. A handful of Hollywood elites said that they held screenings, that they tweeted about her performance. They were praising her performance online and otherwise.
Copying and pasting other tweets about her performance.
And it turns out that they are just all friends with Andrea Riseborough and or her agent. And
guys, being paid.
And being paid. Hashtag ad.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got paid for this. Like, this was not like a free, organic thing that happened.
I want to know that if y'all were paid enough, y'all would support me in getting a Best Actress role.
We're going to support you anyway.
Yeah, y'all would do this for me. Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to anyway, because that's how
we wouldn't be taking a nomination away from a black woman. We would be giving a nomination to a black woman.
Exactly.
What all these rich white people in Hollywood did, and maybe they didn't realize what they were doing.
No, they definitely
care. But they effectively took the nomination from Viola Davis by running this campaign, which has led to a lot of issues, a lot of conversations around privilege and conversations around like how these things. It's like a great example of how institutions could be stacked against certain people without them even having to acknowledge that they're stepping on someone. Like they didn't talk about Viola Davis in that conversation when they put this all together. They were just talking about their friend.
It's a parallel nepo baby conversation, right? You know, it's very.
They essentially either, I mean, and the anadiamus of this all is a whole other thing too.
That's true. And I'm sure that this lady's performance is better than anything Blonde had to say. Like, I'm sure.
Like, people do, like, weird performances get nominated every year, but this was like a strategic hit job to get this woman into this movie, into this nomination for a movie effectively no one has seen.
Yeah, it like
also
she hasn't been nominated for anything else. It's because nobody had seen this goddamn movie. It's
actually what's infuriating.
Yeah, it's not like people were asleep on it and she didn't get nominated for a BAFTA or the Golden Globes or whatever because like they didn't like it. No, they just hadn't seen it because it basically didn't exist until the Oscar nominations. Like,
I don't know what the movie's about, and don't tell me. I don't want to know.
the thing that makes it so like it's usually we know that this is a small club thing. A lot of people care who are not in the small club, like people who are in Hollywood or people who are making these kind of decisions. But this reward show is supposed to be for us, the people. So to just be able to see that a couple Hollywood elites could just conspire together and award or reward someone just because they're in the in group is just really weird to see as people who care about the Oscars. Because I mean, that's bad. The Ana de Armas thing is almost worse, just because we love Ana de Armas. She's great. She's a great actress. She's gonna be in a lot more shit, and we like her. But like putting a movie like that in and having this come out at the same time with this other story, it just looks bad when people expected that to be a black woman sitting there. It just looks bad.
And also, like, sorry to cut you off, Mo. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It is bad. It doesn't even look bad. It is bad.
Yeah, and like even aside from like the race stuff of it all, it's like, yo, we're gonna watch the Oscars and they're gonna tell us all these things about how movies still matter and they bring people together, and it's an important thing for us all to still go to the cinema and be together and have community and tell stories to each other. But they just let this woman buy an Oscar nomination for a movie none of us have fucking seen that didn't come out in theaters, like, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're setting a precedence. Like, other people are saying this, like, yo, let's buy in. Speaking of women I actually want to see in Oscars next year is Aubrey Plaza. Let's turn that up.
She's having a year. She is having a year.
She is having a great year.
So yeah, look, I haven't seen this movie. I will watch it eventually, and I'm sure her performance is good, but fuck this. This is stupid. Like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I liked her, and like she is a great actor. I think Rodin, you were saying that she is a great actress. So, I mean, I get it.
I'm gonna watch it now. It is gonna make me gravitate to the movie because I want to see this performance that they've staked their reputations on. It's not like she's gonna win, but it's just a weird choice.
I think what's more important is to know that she's not going to win. Okay, so like she could never. I mean, imagine putting Andrea up against Kate and Michelle Yeoh. Like, let's be honest.
What if she wins?
I would boycott I would dead ass boycott the Oscars if they gave that woman
that's not
Kate Blanchett's trophy.
That's not happening. You hear me saying it right now? Absolutely not. Like, no, we're not gonna play in this girl's face. Like, look, sure.
As much as I love Michelle Yeoh and everything she did and Everything Everywhere All at Once, Kate Blanchett's gonna win.
I am not mad at Kate Blanchett. Oh my god!
I can't be mad at that. I would love for Michelle Yeoh to win, but also I can't deny what Kate Blanchett did.
I guys, I tell you what, I would have paid to be on set for Kate Blanchett on Tar, man. I would have paid to watch that live.
I will pay you to let me be the Juilliard kid in this scene. Like, just fry me, cook me. I don't need to be a paid actor. I will pay you to.
What's the next category y'all were gonna do?
Yeah, we have an actress in a supporting role, and the nominees here are Angela Bassett for Black Panther, and she is the first person in the Marvel universe to be nominated for an actor or actress award for their portrayal in a Marvel movie. That is huge. That is massive. Hong Chow for The Whale. Carrie Condon from Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which we talked about. And I think that at the time when the movie came out, we were like, it could happen. Obviously, they want to probably like have a moment for Jamie Lee Curtis, who's a massive star in her own right and has had a long career, and everybody loves her. And then Stephanie Hu for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was a layup here. We knew that was getting in. And this is a pretty fun category for sure.
I love this category, except Hong Chow I could do without here. I would probably take Dolly DeLeon here from Triangle of Sadness. She was the best part of that movie, which I didn't like that much. But anyway, yeah, I think this is Angela Bassett's to lose at this point, which is great because she deserves.
She
was robbed for portraying Tina Turner like 30 years ago, and so and she lost. She was nominated, but she lost. Well, now she's nominated here again, and she has she's the favorite. I think.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the acceptance speech. Let's turn it up.
Me too. Oh, can you imagine?
It's gonna be so good.
She's gonna bring the fucking house down.
I will start my Black Women Carry the MCU campaign for the next 10 years.
And Stephanie Shu. We got someone in the chat correcting us.
It's not.
Sorry.
I think it's Shoot. I don't know.
I would love
Stephanie
to see
Shu.
her get a win here if it's not Angela Bassett, but I think it is Angela Bassett, and that's going to be amazing.
Not for nothing, I think the most impressively written character was definitely like Stephanie Shu's character. Like Joe
Absolutely.
I was incredibly impressed.
She was great.
Phenomenal character, like just amazing.
All right, where do I want to go next? I can go either cinematography or I can go animated feature film. I'll go cinematography.
Okay.
Those are All Quiet on the Western Front, and that's James Friend. From Bardo, we got Darius Conjui, Mandy Walker for Elvis, Roger Deakins, of course, he gets nominated every year for a movie called Empire of Light, which I don't think a lot of people have seen.
Apparently it stinks.
And Florian Hoffmeister for Tar.
Let's go Tar.
Yeah, give me Tar. I haven't seen most of those movies, actually. I haven't seen All Quiet. I haven't seen Empire of Light. I haven't seen Bardo. But Tar, incredible.
I don't know how Elvis got here, and also I don't know how Top Gun didn't get here. That just strikes me as odd.
Yeah, Elvis over Top Gun is crazy.
That's crazy to me. Like they literally had to strap these shits to planes, and all they had to do in Elvis was make what's his face look fat. That's all they had to do.
Tom
they had to make Tom Hanks look fat because that was a decision that was made. Animated feature film, we got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which is kind of crazy to think about where that started, and now they've been nominated for an Oscar. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is incredible. Incredible cinema, by the way, y'all. Go see Puss in Boots. The Sea Beast, which is a Netflix one that is supposedly really, really good, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, Netflix is out here in the fucking animated category. They got
crazy.
2 nominations.
They've had
Disney
2
got
now.
1.
And Turning Red, which is also incredible cinema that we reviewed on this podcast. Turning Red's great. Those are your animated feature films. Welcome back, Royden.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I died. What did I miss? What's the Discord?
We did a supporting actress, and now we're in animated feature.
We did animated and we did cinematography.
Okay. Cinematography was interesting. I just wanted to say, like, I watched All Quiet on the Western Front. That may be it. But the real snub is Top Gun, and all of a sudden, God bless Roger Deakins for still getting those nominations, cashing those checks. That's all I gotta say.
Roger Deakins and Diane Warren just getting nominated every single year in the category.
Do we want to talk about screenplays? It's an interesting category always for me. All Quiet on the Western Front, Best Adapted Screenplay. Glass Onion, shout out to Ryan Johnson for making the same movie and getting another Oscar nomination for
They're like, he called Elon Musk dumb. That's great.
Yeah, love that. Living, Top Gun, I think, which is based on a Kurosawa film, if I'm not mistaken.
Top Gun is based on like a New Yorker article or something like that. Is what it's adapted from. Technically,
you get a screenplay nomination if you adapt a previously made movie. So if it's like a sequel and you get a screenplay nomination, that's technically adapted from the sequel. But yes, the first movie is from a aviation magazine article or something like that. But Living, I believe, is adapted from one of a late stage Kurosawa film, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Living, not Top Gun. I don't know what Kurosawa film.
No, not Top Gun. Seven Samurai. Women Talking was also nominated for a Best Adapted Screenplay. Any predictions? Give it to Top Gun. Fuck it.
Give it to Top Gun.
Give it to Top Gun. Let's do it. Fuck it. They save movies. Let's do it.
Yeah, the screenplay in Top Gun is completely unmemorable, but fuck it. Who cares?
You're going to be pushing 9 Gs.
We have to talk about that. Rihanna's going to go to the Oscars, guys. She's going to be at the Oscars. It's happening.
Okay,
we're getting Rihanna.
I need them to do the performances this year. I don't know. Like, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Like, post-COVID, I don't know. But I need them to do that shit. I need Rihanna. I need Lady Gaga. I need the whole RRR cast.
I mean, my girl's going to be coming off the Super Bowl. And then she's
about to have a month. Her month's about to go crazy. Her month gonna go. She's going to win an Oscar, perform at the Oscars, and perform at the Super Bowl in 1 month. in 1 month.
All after having a baby. Okay, like
no, she's not gonna win. She's not gonna win. RR's gonna win the Oscar, but she's gonna be performing at the Oscar. She's gonna be there.
That song is okay.
It's
what, the Rihanna
actually
one?
less than okay. It's bad.
Yeah, I'm not really into it.
I didn't want to be mean, but
they got Rihanna and Tim's on the song, and somehow it came out like that. I didn't love it.
Yeah, it's not good, but like if I'm down for Rihanna Oscars looks. Like that's Rihanna at the fucking Vanity Fair Oscar party, like in the photo booth. I'm with that. Like, you know,
Natu's going to win from RRR. It's great. It's going to win.
Speaking of a film that didn't get nominated in Best Foreign Language Film, RRR didn't, and actually India didn't even put it up.
Yeah,
to be
didn't
nominated.
get submitted.
Why not?
I don't know.
They like their other movie better. I don't know.
Sorry, it's now Best International Feature Film. That's my bad. All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina 1985, which won the Golden Globe. Close from Belgium, EO from Poland, and The Quiet Girl from Ireland, a movie which I think people love. But
yeah, The Quiet Girl.
You've seen The Quiet Girl?
Yes, but I haven't seen any of the other ones.
She be out in these streets, dog. I don't know why y'all are surprised.
I was just about to say, I was like, they're gonna be like, "What? You watched this movie?" I did.
Argentina 1985 is available to stream right now on Amazon, just like a lot of other movies are that you didn't remember.
I will do that. I will watch these. But All Quiet is winning this shit, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Best Original Screenplay, The Banshees of Inisherin. Mark McDonagh gets nominated for that again. Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. This one is an interesting one because I think if the Daniels win early on, obviously then I don't think you see them win the Best Director, but I think that is an early indication on if they have a shot at winning Best Picture. I don't know what y'all think.
I feel like
Triangle
honestly,
of Sadness.
Yeah, I feel like Triangle of Sadness will be
what
the winner here.
Screenplay.
Original screenplay. Because I'm like, I don't know where else Triangle of Sadness would win, but they really like that movie, so I think that'll be like the spot for it to get a win, you know. And the screenplay is good. Like it's not like a pity like win. It's a really good screenplay that's interesting and layered and all that. But yeah, I think that might be their one win.
I feel like you'd want it to be like, because like you're making good points, but like every time I've made that point before, it like doesn't even happen. They're just like, no, I just got some nominations. I'm thinking either like Sadness, Banshees, or Tar is winning original screen. If EEAO takes it, like I'm in. But people really like Banshees, and I don't think Banshees is gonna like take too much of anything else.
I said this, and somebody was like tweeting at me about it, and I was like, I don't know, fam. Banshees, it got all those nominations. I think it got like 9 nominations or something like that.
Yeah, so
I could easily see it like not winning anything.
I know, like I low key think maybe 1 or 2, but. You know what? I'm kind of in the same. I don't know. People like Triangle of. It's a very chaotic movie. People like Triangle. Like I know, like the Academy is gonna like Triangle of Sadness in some way, but also I want it to go to Tar. I think is what I'm saying. I want it to go to Tar. That's incredible. This is about an orchestral conductor, guys. Like, how do you get a movie about an orchestral conductor, like with so many fucking nominations? You can't do that.
It's so funny.
You can't do that.
I wanted to get Best Screenplay just purely for the fact that Cate Blanchett started speaking in German at various points with no subtitles, and you still understand everything she's saying.
And you know, because she's acting, motherfucker. She's acting.
Like, yeah, like that's just incredible. Like,
I mean, this is just incredible writing. I have no notes on that movie. I have no notes on Tar. 0. Perfect writing. But same thing for EAO. So yeah.
Any other interesting nominations? The Batman gets 2 Oscar nominations.
Hell yeah.
The Batman was real cinema.
I am so relieved. I was so worried that the girls would, forget about that movie. I am so happy about that, you guys.
Can we talk about the disrespect to the Northmen getting nothing?
Thank you,
No.
Dex. You are spitting right now. You are spitting.
Like nothing.
If the
should've
Woman
given
King
Lana for
didn't
the
get
Northman.
anything, the Northman was never going to even sniff
That's
anything.
true. You're right.
But, like,
they both deserve stuff. They both.
The Woman King didn't have two naked guys fighting in a volcano, though. You
That
know what
is
I'm
true.
saying?
Very true.
Like,
All right, guys, Dex, I need you to, me and you are always kind of on the same page. I need us to be honest about the Northman, guys.
Monique, stop. Monique, stop what you're doing right now. Don't kick us while we're down. Don't kick us while we're down.
It's fine. I'm glad we don't have to have that discussion during the
are you
Oscars.
telling me that watching these Vikings do their pregame like wolf ritual wasn't the most riveting shit you saw in a movie theater this year?
Literally.
Now he's saying riveting. I don't want to see guys being dudes being bros.
Ethan Hawke was like farting and shitting and growling on screen, and it was the most fun he's had in a movie in 12 years.
I don't want to see dudes being bros. I don't care what year it is.
Dudes
I
rock.
could have run through a wall
rock.
after watching their pregame warm-up. I could have run through a fucking wall at that point. I was so hyped up. It was like I was mainlining Mountain Dew for 3 hours in a row. That shit was elite fucking cinema, and we were snubbed. Period.
I'm just here to tell you guys, we don't want men yelling at us on screen, okay?
But like, I can't
Best
even get a
movie of 2022.
The best superhero movie of 2022.
We don't want men yelling at us for
movie.
2.5 hours. It was.
But
just
like, can I get a best original score though? Because the drums in that goddamn movie literally were punching me in the chest.
Now, I will say I really
theater.
enjoyed that screenplay. That was really, really fun. That was cool. Like they took us through some shit in that movie. I was like, damn it, I'm shook right now.
We will accept. We have met, and we will accept the honorary Snyder mention on the fan poll for the Northman. We will accept that. Okay, but we deserve some acknowledgement for what we accomplished, and we deserve it. The Northman Hive is alive, and justice for the Northman.
Oh God.
Y'all's favorite Babylon gets nominated for I think 3 Oscars.
I'll take that. Like,
I'll take it. I will take it as long as we acknowledge what we accomplished on the day we went to that movie
I just want the conversation to be had.
Facts.
Production design, costume design, and score for Justin Hurwitz.
Just hear us out.
It needs to win.
Babylon is the elite cinema.
It needs to win score. Soundtrack.
It's so good.
So hard.
Justin Hurwitz was in his bag.
Oh my God, deep in his bag.
I've been listening to the Voodoo Mama bit of that for like just when I drive to work.
Incredible. Like,
that's so fire.
Give my man his things.
So that's the Oscar nominations. We're not going to do like all the below the line awards. Like I said, the Batman gets nominated for 3, which is interesting, or 2, which is interesting. The costume design. They got more
nominations than Marvel did.
Black Panther got 2.
Yeah,
got a couple. Tied.
No, it got 3 because
costume.
Never mind, they lost.
I tried,
DC.
It was going to be a mistake not to have Black Panther in there a couple times.
I think it was like costume design, supporting actress, and
song.
Was it hair and makeup? Oh yeah, song.
There were too many people of color dressed in nice costumes.
They got 4. Sorry, Black Panther got.
You're going to get costumes.
Yeah, you have to.
But the Woman King getting no Oscar nominations is the same to me.
Wild.
None. They literally made Braveheart with black women, and they were like, crazy.
It's infuriating.
Again, I said it before. Like, yes, there's a lot of like fraud going on there, and a little bit of racism going on there, but also like they didn't run a good campaign. Okay,
Roddy, you keep saying that. I don't agree with that.
I didn't see them anywhere.
I don't know if you were looking in the right places. They ran a decent enough campaign. Like Gina Prince, I don't know if I saw enough of Viola Davis saying things, but she doesn't really say much at all in general. But Gina Prince, all of her producers, a lot of the actors, a lot of the dark-skinned actors they've been talking about this movie. Like they were putting some money into this. They were funneling some money, but I think there is a point to say that like maybe they noticed it a little bit later than they should have. But once they noticed it, they were pushing that motherfucker.
If they dropped that movie on Netflix in December,
That was another thing.
They at least get nominated for one Oscar, but
Yes.
not
Sony-
enough people. Even though they made their money back, they did good business. Like
They did
they
great.
could have had a moment where they were on Netflix and the whole country was talking about the movie for 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the middle of the Oscar campaign, but they didn't do that because of whatever decision they made, and it harmed the movie's chances to win an Oscar.
That's Sony's back end deal with Netflix and the day and date release stuff that they had. They have purposely kind of shot themselves in the foot with any of their movies. Sony has, which is a very interesting and well run studio, really well oiled machine over there at Sony.
Everyone's been talking about the menu. The people have been talking about the menu for a month. That could have been people talking about the Woman King for a month if they did the same thing, but they did not do that. And the Woman King is a much better movie than the menu, and people would have liked it much
100%.
more, but they didn't drop it.
Yeah, the menu. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. That's all I'm going to say.
Queen.
I do too. She's a queen, but that movie is just okay.
She should have been nominated over Ana de Armas.
100%.
Everyone should have been nominated over Ana de Armas.
Anyone.
Please, guys. Oh my God.
I've said this before, but like I think the only reason she's been getting nominated for these like acting awards that are decided on by other actors is because they feel bad for her. Like having to have tried to carry that utter bullshit. I
can't believe that she agreed to star in the movie, and I can't believe that as they were filming that movie, nobody on set was like, "Yo, is this the actual movie? Like, are we actually going through with some of these?
Is this allowed?"
Yeah. Are you dead ass? Are you dead ass?
Wait, are we gonna shoot this in what way? Are you serious?
She's naked again? Like for real, bro? Again? We did this for 3 hours, already.
I think that's tough because I think a lot of people would have taken that to be Marilyn Monroe. Like, I think you take that swing, but also, yikes! Like, I don't know. I don't have a follow up to that.
It's weird because like she just looks like Marilyn Monroe. She doesn't sound like her or like behave like her in any way, which usually is like part of the thing. For these like biopic, it's not a biopic, but these like real people performances. It's like, fucking Renee Zellweger looks and sounds just like Judy Garland. Let's give her the award. But they didn't do that for this movie.
Is the most important critique in review I've heard of that movie is when the literary non-hottie tweets came up from that very correct woman. She's like, this movie didn't succeed. You don't let literary non-hotties, make movies about beautiful women. They're not gonna get it right. So I'll see tweets after that. But yeah, so I was actually forced. I was actually warned. I was protected by all of my great film friends. They were like, Monique, do not watch this movie. They're like, I know that you watch everything. Do not watch this movie. And I'm like, okay.
I tried. Couldn't finish it.
I tried. I got through like 30 minutes and I felt nasty. I had to take a shower. I was like, this movie's gross.
I got like an hour and a half in. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Like,
it's a really gross movie. Like it's gross. Like,
and it's just like legitimately bad. Like even outside of being gross.
It's not art. It's not cinema. It is
bad.
That's very sad. Marilyn Monroe deserves better. That's sad, man.
So everyone deserves better than that. The way they portrayed her, I was like, this is a real person that existed and that some people have a lot of respect for, and that broke down some barriers. And this is your portrayal of this woman. Like it was crazy.
Don't let non-hotties talk about hotties, man. It's very important, guys. It
ended up being exactly what we thought it was, which was a Andrew Dominic fever dream, who beforehand is a great filmmaker of previous projects, films that I actually really enjoy.
I could tell it was going to be some bullshit.
The assassination of Jesse
James. It needs to challenge the audience. And I'm like, bro.
He said, no, I didn't come here to be challenged.
I know you want some fuck shit.
Were those
say that when you want some fuck shit?
Were those his words? Oh God.
It's a meditative experience.
Oh God.
That's a gross film, man.
I was protected from that film.
So that has been our Oscar nominations pod. We will drop this one first. Mo is tired and probably has to go. I don't know if she wants to talk about M3GAN or not.
Go to sleep.
I am so tired, but I thought we were going to do the 2022 placement for the 2023 Best Pictures.
Oh, yes, we have to do that.
Oh, okay. So
please do.
Dex had an interesting question, meaning it basically, I don't know, Dex, you phrase it, so I'm not
stumbling. You phrase it, Dex.
Yeah, so 2022 was an incredible year for cinema. 2021 stunk. So the 2022 Oscars, the stuff that was nominated last year, the Best Picture list, not that good. So if you had to rank this year's, the newest Best Picture nominees with last year's Best Picture nominees, how far down your list do you have to go to get to a movie from last year?
Mo, do you have an answer? Or do you want to take a moment?
Can I go right after? I think Tej is the one who asked me so, but I'm ready. But I
can go first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But just for the listener's sake, I'm going to read quickly the list of the 10 movies from last year: Nightmare Alley, Belfast, King Richard, Coda, Licorice Pizza, Don't Look Up, Dune, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story, and Drive My Car, which is a very bad list. Some of these movies are okay, but this is a bad list of movies.
It's not a bad list.
Don't Look
I
Up
would
got nominated for an Oscar.
Not a good list.
We had a whole podcast on Don't Look Up, guys. It was a great.
I
podcast.
know. Don't Look Up sucked, man.
Roy
I
doesn't
enjoyed
like it.
Don't Look
I like
Up,
it, but it's not like, how good is it though? Like,
yeah, when you compare it to what we got this year, it's like, ugh.
There were some stinkers for sure. I'm using your terms now. There were some like, why are we here?
I have a.
Go ahead.
I'm going to answer the next question, but I also have a sizzling hot take that I want to get off on this. But I'll answer the question.
Dune, we've heard it.
No. That's not. Everybody knows that Dune stinks. That's not a hot take anymore.
No, it's
I was there
not.
first, but we are legion. We are legion that Dune stinks. Sorry, there are a lot of us.
No, we
there
are
are millions of us. Okay, so I would get down to 6 before I got to a 2022 movie, and I would say that my favorite movie or the best movie on that list to me was Nightmare Alley or King Richard. I would go one of those two. It would be Nightmare Alley or King Richard, but I wouldn't get there into movie number 6 from if you include movies from last year.
Damn. Yeah, I think I'm at 5, but I have Belfast as my number 1
You
from
did
last year.
I remember the conversation.
I fucking loved Belfast, and yeah, it wouldn't crack the top 4 this year at all.
I would get down to 6 as well. And
That's
I may get down to 7 if I wanted to bump up Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is like me being sight unseen on Women Talking and All Quiet on the Western Front. Those
Same here.
They both be bangers and like move that shit even further down.
But I mean, like if in any normal year, like I'm even replacing Avatar: The Way of Water with Dune. Like I know you think Dune stinks, but like
I didn't see Avatar, but
First of all, I've been
Monique, you got to answer it.
I've been rocking with y'all for a long time because I just realized I'm like, damn, I've talked to y'all about a lot of
years.
Like I've been rocking with y'all. Y'all been having me on the show for a while, so thank you for that, Miss Peacherino, with what we watch, guys. I guess I'm gonna take the lead on this one, guys. First of all, I am not with the One Take Pod on this is like a bad set of. It's not as good as 2023, but I was not like. There were some stinkers, but like there's 10 nominations for 2022 and 2023. And like both are like 5 and 5 for me. So like I don't think it's significantly worse than this year. I am going with Drive My Car at number 4, guys. I have 4. I have EEAO, Triangle of Sadness, Tar, and maybe Fablemans. And
now that's 5. Now we're at 5. You just mentioned a movie.
Like I'm gonna put like Fablemans or Drive My Car, like right there. Drive My Car is phenomenal, right? Like guys, you know how I feel about Japanese filmmaking. It is so good. You're kidding me.
Drive My Car is not good.
I might have to like go back and rewatch it with my like evolved brain. But that shit bored me to tears, man.
I was bored as hell.
Holy fuck.
First of all, did y'all watch Decision to Leave by Park Chan-wook?
I have not seen
I have not seen it yet. I'm very excited to watch that.
Surprisingly not nominated.
Watch Decision to Leave and then watch Drive My Car, guys. Get into it. I'm putting it 4.
I'm not finishing Drive My Car. I made it about an hour and a half in, and I said, "No, I'm gonna."
My god, it's so.
I promise you didn't miss anything in that extra hour and a half that you didn't watch.
No, it does. It's so good. There's so many good things. I'm talking best cinematography there. So good. But anyways, yeah. So that 4 or 5 for me.
So you went 4 or 5, and Dex went 5. Me and Royden went 6. Okay. Here's my hot take. Nope is better than all the movies from the 2022 best picture list. Nope is better than all of them. Let me just tell you that right now, brother. Nope is real cinema, and it is better than all 10 of those films from last year, including King Richard, which is great, including Coda, which won, including Nightmare Alley, which still nobody has seen except for the 4 of us on this podcast. It's better. And Dune, snooze fest. Snooze fest. Get it out of here. I'd rather watch Avatar than watch Dune 1 again. That's my second hot take.
Nope is like
if
third
you're gonna
to
watch
last.
Way of Water, are you saying you're gonna watch Way of Water?
No, I'm saying I would rather watch The Way of Water over watching Dune another time. I'm walking into Dune 2 without rewatching Dune 1. I'm not rewatching that film.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it, dog.
It's boring. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
YouTube summary me, baby.
Yes,
I was going to say, Dex, I'm with you. YouTube summary.
YouTube summary only, brothers. Give me 10 minutes of Dune and I'm good. Okay, I'll walk in the movie theater now. That's all I need.
No, I agree with you. I'm going to smash the hell yeah subscribe button. Nope is better than all those. Hell yeah. I'm with it. Off the bloody house scene alone. You've never seen anything like it, you guys. None of you.
That woman is talking about real cinema right now.
None of you have
otherwise lackluster movie.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Don't do that.
Dex, grow up.
Dex, grow the fuck up, bro.
That's my line. I say that to people.
We have to stop having Royden hate on Babylon and Dex hate on Nope. These two
things have to happen.
Royden! What?
No, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I'm sleeping.
Royden is a Babylon hater, and it's
not
good.
Yeah, grow up, Royden.
Grow up, Royden.
Do some cocaine.
Yeah, David Chazelle needs to grow up.
Do some cocaine.
Do you just hate elephants and cocaine? Fuck you. Oh my God. You didn't like Babylon? What is not to like about Babylon?
You hate Brad Pitt?
A lot.
Brad Pitt, after everything he's done for you, you hate Brad Pitt? This is crazy.
We do not stand Brad Pitt right now. We don't. It is a.
No,
we're talking about the allegations, but I keep forgetting about the
allegations.
allegations.
And y'all talk Megan. Feel free to ping me on anything. Royden, why didn't you like Babylon? I don't understand.
It was too much. It was just physically too much to watch.
Okay,
and I'm all for maximalist cinema, like we sat here and said, like Top Gun is the fucking best. But like it just was.
Imagine Top Gun with cocaine. That's Babylon.
I mean,
and Margot Robbie. Like,
there are parts of it I didn't despise it. Like there's people that hate that movie, but like I'm just not there with it. It's somebody described it as like we need to stop thinking of it as Boogie Nights and thinking of it more as Jackass, and like I kind of agree.
This is ridiculous.
But why not both? What's going on here? Jackass is pretty fun.
Jackass is fun. Okay.
Jackass is a fun movie. Royden, have you watched Triangle of Sadness?
I haven't, and I will.
Oh yeah, I want to see how you compare the two after you watch it.
You're not gonna like Triangle of Sadness.
Probably not.
Is Triangle of Sadness a big fever dream cocaine party as well?
For moments.
Just watch the movie.
I can't wait to see it now. I had no idea what it was about, but now I'm even more excited.
No, it's not. I don't want to mislead you, but I can see someone saying exactly what Royden just said as like it's too much to Triangle of Sadness because it is.
Got it. Because it is.
I just thought that Damien Chazelle has made better films, and like it felt like he wanted to make the last movie ever, and like he kind of fell flat with that. To me, look, I understand if you love Babylon, and it's going to be reclaimed as prime cinema from the 2020s when we're all dead. It's going to be like reclaimed as like the best.
No, I'm gonna start that shit literally.
Just remember the originators.
1 year from the release date. I'm gonna be like 1 year ago today.
I'm gonna
Babylon, this classic cinema.
Didn't I tell you guys? Here's the thing, Royden. If Babylon's the last movie I see, like if the world is ending and they're like the only showing on every theater is Babylon, I'm okay with that. I'm watching it.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing to say about a film. And
so you gotta sit through the nauseating sequence of him being like, remember films like The Matrix and Avatar? Remember?
Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. It wasn't good. But
watching Margot Robbie cry on command for 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm with that.
I had a time.
And also, if it wasn't such a stacked year for she could have been Best Actress in a year where justice was happening. She could have been nominated for Best. That's how good a performance was. It was that good.
She's way more deserving than Ana de Armas.
Way more.
I can't speak to Andrea Riseborough yet because I haven't watched that movie yet. But at least Ana de Armas, get her out of here.
Andrea is solid in every film that I've watched her in, which is about 4 films now. So I mean, I'm not like, but yeah, not for the Oscar nom.
But yeah, I can't wait for this fucking Ana de Armas at the Oscars. I'm like, that's going to be great television.
She's going to look incredible.
I'm here for that.
Her and Rihanna will be all worth watching the broadcast just for those two alone. And Angela Bassett, who looks incredible. Oh my God, I can't wait.
One more thing before we close out the Oscars conversation. We mentioned earlier that this 1-year anniversary of the slap is coming up. We talked about this yesterday in our group chat. I don't think people have fully grasped just how fucking insane it is that Will Smith walked up on stage and slapped Chris Rock in the face in front of all of us on TV.
We saw it live.
Biggest night of that man's life.
We all have an underlying tinge of PTSD while we're watching this year. We're gonna be like, okay, nope. We know no one's gonna slap.
I said in the group chat, by the 15th slap joke that he makes, he's going to be crying at home. Man, it's not even funny.
We're going to be like, okay, no one's going to slap anybody, but we remember when it happened.
It literally happened.
He walked up there, he slapped that man in the face with his open hand, went and sat back down, did not get kicked out of the award show, and then later won an award.
And then he won an award and gave a speech.
But he refused to apologize.
I have to stand. In some cases, I have to stand, you guys.
Holy shit. That happened. And now he's going to be watching the Oscars for sure. All of his friends will be at the same place without him. A grounded teenager.
He's not invited.
For the next 10 years, right? It's 10 years or something.
Yeah, he cannot go. But everyone that he knows is at this one party together. Well, but his mom said he can't go because he don't know how to act in front of company. So
the one movie that he was in this last year was Emancipation. Did not get nominated or anything. So
yeah, we knew that. Oscars weren't going to. They weren't going to. And I didn't watch it, but Oscars weren't going to. It don't matter what Will Smith did. He could have been the next coming of Brad Pitt himself, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Thank you guys so much, Royd and Dex Teach. Thank you so much for having me again. You guys sign up at whatwewatch.net. Follow WWW Film TV on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much. Shout out One Take Pod. This is Miss Peacherino with What We Watch.
That is how you do a motherfucking plug right there. Right there. Mo from What We Watch. This has been we're gonna if you're watching this live, by the way, we're gonna do a whole nother podcast, hopefully, here in 2 seconds. Maybe Dex has to go to bed. I know I work tomorrow, but he definitely works tomorrow. But we're gonna just review M3GAN and do our top films here in a second. But if you're not watching this live, this has been a One Take podcast. Dex, do the line, so maybe I can cut this. Maybe I won't. Who knows?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh.
All right, we're out. All right. Well, let's take a break. Mo, thank you very much. I'm gonna hit the restroom.
Thank you, Mo. I'm gonna hit the restroom too.
You guys, thank you so much.
Live television. We love to see it.
All right, M3GAN hours.
Hell yeah.
The Grizzlies are turning up.
Oh shit! All right. Apparently, Dame dropped 68 and 7 tonight.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
68?
Nah, 60 and then like 8 assists.
Oh. Dame had 60?
Yeah. On like 70% from the field too.
Jesus Christ.
The NBA is going crazy this year.
Most efficient 60-point game in NBA history. It's time to run from the grind, Dame. If you can hoop like this,
run
go
from
get
the
with somebody,
grind,
bro.
bro.
Run from the grind right now.
Demand a trade. And now he's 6th all time in career 3-pointers made. So good for him.
Jesus.
I didn't realize Kyle Korver was top 5. Holy shit.
Wow.
The NBA has been insane this year, man. Like this shit
really
don't make
People
no
been
sense.
Going off. The playoffs gonna be fun as hell. I cannot wait.
Yeah, like obviously the Rockets suck and it's very sad, but also watching the playoffs with no stress at all is been pretty fun. Not gonna lie.
Literally no stress at all. It has been fun.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter to me who wins. Like fuck that. Same thing with the NFL. The Texans ass. That's like obvious, but
You know the Rockets lost the game you went to.
The
Rockets lost. What was the score when you left?
Yeah, they were down like 9 when I left. They had already given up the lead by the time.
I saw we were up like 15. I was like, okay, we're about to win.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma started going off. Kyle Kuzma was making like 40 footers, and I was like, all right, yeah, I can leave. Like, I'm good. I see where this is going. Because we were up like 15. I think we were up 10 at the start of the second half, and we blew it all. And then, yeah, I think they went up like 9 early in the fourth quarter, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go home and do this podcast.
This is one of the worst basketball teams I've ever seen, but it's worth it. When we get Wemby, nobody can be able to tell me nothing, bro.
Yeah, it'll all be worth it if we get Wemby or Scoot. But I don't understand how Steven Silas is still employed. Like I don't.
Me either.
Like for who and for what? Like what do we see? What is?
It's actually getting nasty. We can get him out of here. Let's
like,
start winning.
Like literally now. We can just do it. Like Steven Silas can be fired right now.
Nobody will cry for him. We're good. We've had enough.
Yeah, what do you need? This one? You're good.
Big M3GAN hours.
Talking about M3GAN.
This is gonna be a real short podcast, y'all. Like
I'm fine with that.
I am fainting.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll be a short podcast, but we're mostly going to talk about our top films. So, all right, let's break it up. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the One Take Podcast. I'm not sure what order these are going in. If this is totally a separate podcast from our Oscars podcast, not at all a continuation all in one night. We're not like mega potting or anything. Totally new.
Nope.
New content for you folks. I may just keep it all as one thing. Who gives a shit? And nobody listens. But like we were talking about M3GAN. M3GAN. I don't know. That was so stupid. That made me laugh. M3GAN. Okay, we're talking about M3GAN, and then we're gonna, because this is the first big film of 2023. We're gonna talk about our top 5 films of 2022 because it was a great year in cinema, and it kind of looks like we're heading for another good year, guys. All signs are pointing up.
Yeah, this has been a really good January randomly.
Yeah,
like usually January is where all the shit like just ends up, but everything I've seen so far in January has been like mad decent. So
I think that's kind of moved to February now for some reason, because I think Oscars releases are getting released later and later, but also not for nothing, Avatar has also carried box offices to like people want to get back in theaters. So I think that is kind of carried over. But with M3GAN, it's a box office sensation. Let's talk about it. 2020. Actually, this was released in 2022. It says, was it?
Nah.
No,
I
there's
mean,
no
it
way.
might have like premiered like in
Yeah.
2022 or whatever, but it
Yeah.
released in
It's a
January.
2023 movie. PG-13, 6.5 on IMDb, number 5 ranked popularity movie overall right now. A robotics engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike doll that begins to take on the life of its own. 72 Metascore, directed by Gerard Johnstone, written by Akilah Cooper, and James Wan, who has a hand, if not like a stake in Blumhouse, is a writer on this as well. It's written, it's produced by Jason Blum, part of the Blumhouse machine that has been going on for over a decade now. Stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, Ronnie Chang, Amy Donald as one M3GAN, and then another woman named Jenna Davis as the voice of M3GAN. Host of other character actors in this as well, but I think the name that you would maybe know is Allison Williams. It is a smash hit. It has grossed, if I can find it, $126 million on a $12 million budget.
Holy shit, man.
Deserved.
Unbelievable. Unreal. We hadn't seen those
Deserved.
numbers for that. Like Barbarian didn't do that. Granted, Barbarian was a gross out rated R horror film. This was for teenagers. So it did exactly what it was supposed to. But also incredible critics reviews, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 79% audience score. Unapologetically silly.
94%?
Yep. And that's kind of the marketing.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Deserved.
Unapologetically silly and all the more entertaining for it. M3GAN is the rare horror comedy that delivers chuckles as effortlessly as chills. Dex, give it your review, whatever score you gave it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, like genuinely, not even on just like a oh, it's funny, like, haha, slay queen, like, I just like genuinely enjoyed this movie. I didn't really expect it to have as much, like, I don't know, kind of weight to it as it did. Like the whole story about, losing your parents and like having a child thrust on you, basically, like out of nowhere, and how we deal with that, and how like the ways that we deal with that are very unhealthy, and the technology like kind of ruining our children, basically. Like I didn't expect that to hit as much as it did. That's a testament to Allison Williams, and it's a testament to Violet McGraw, the kid who she just an utterly awful child, but
sucks.
It's terrible, bad vibes. Like it's not your fault that you're awful. Like I understand, but
trauma and all that.
Y'all are horrible.
She's like kicking the back of the seat and shit while I'm driving. Chill out, kid.
No, the dog can't come.
Yeah,
put that shit up. All right, it's time to go to camp.
Put that shit up.
Put that shit up. It's time to go to camp. All right, like get the fuck out of here. Did you slap me at work? Who do you think
at work?
I am at work. Anyway, but yeah, like not her fault that she's an awful child. But,
good actress, solid
good
child
actress. But yeah, I didn't expect to be like as moved by like the emotional parts of the story as I was. I was expecting it to just all be like memes and like hello gays, please like our movie. Like there's a lot of that in there.
You do, fellow kids and gays.
Yeah, but they like mix it in well with the actual like emotional parts of it, which I was surprised by. And then towards the end, they're just like, all right, fuck it. M3GAN is like chopping people in half with fucking like paper cutters or whatever. Like I'm with that, So I had a great time. I really don't know how to grade it because it's like it's one of those things where it's like it
should suck ass.
It's like a 7 difficulty. Like its starting difficulty is like a 7, but it fucking nailed the fuck out of that 7. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, like a very enthusiastic B+, like for M3GAN.
Yeah. I'll just jump off of that because I just want to talk about it. This movie is fucking nuts. There is so much going on in this hour and 30-minute movie. That's another thing too. So fast. Oh, just a breeze.
Yep.
Loved it. Sat down, couldn't even sit down. The trailers were about as long as this movie. Love that. Thank you, Jason Blum, whatever formula that you have. Keep doing that shit, brother. That's incredible. This like you said, Dex, it is what it is, but there's a little thing there with like, and they even say this in the film, like the trauma bonding aspect of all of this is like pretty deep for a otherwise stupid AI, like technology is bad movie. And not for nothing, how did they build that doll? How'd they do that?
It looks so fucking good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I don't like understand it's a child actress doing the motions and stuff like that, but like what's the makeup behind that? How the hell did they do that? I want to know.
It looks like a doll is literally doing all that. Like you don't ever think, oh, there's a human act. You don't ever think about the fact that there's a human actress because it looks so real. Like they did a great job with it.
Obviously, I think the two main actors are good here. I think the story there is sort of rushed a little bit. Like, how would you, I would be shocked by it, but I still would know how to take care of my nephews if I had them all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't build an AI to take care of, like, it's just like, she's the worst. Like, why?
Yeah,
Allison Williams, horrible parent. Awful parent. Awful parent.
Just awful, just person. Like, just to be like, I have to continue working on this secret illegal project for my company. Oh, I have a child to watch. Well, that's convenient for my secret illegal
profiteering
project.
off of her sister's death.
Her niece is obviously going through like a really, really hard time, and she's like, "Hey, will you sit and like do a therapy session in front of like these people that are going to spend money on my company? This is a great idea. I wonder what can go wrong here. Nothing. Let's do it. Yay, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, sucks that my sister, your mom died. Don't touch my things, please. Those are not toys.
Don't get your sticky iPad fingers on this shit. Like, ew. No, I just think like it is a little bit deeper than you would imagine. It is very much how do you do, fellow kids? At some points, it's PG-13, so the scares aren't really that frightening. I imagine it's pretty funny. It's a lot funnier than I think that I was anticipating based on the marketing. And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. TG said it is a comedy. They just marketed the hell out of it.
That's
the
Jason fraud.
That's the Jason Blum effect.
Fraud.
That is Jason Blum.
This is a comedy through and through.
And so
also though, some of the like body horror in this shit was like legitimately made me like recoil. Like her like ripping the kid's ear off. I was like, oh fuck.
When she was running like a horse, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, so like PG-13 scares, like if this is baby's first horror film, it's a pretty good introduction to it. You can go like, I give it a B-. Like it's stupid. Yeah, it's dumb, but it's good dumb. And they're gonna make 5 more of them. I don't know how.
I'm watching
all of them.
Yeah,
exactly. All of them.
So if it's just as good as this, sure, absolutely. It is so much better than whatever the Conjuring spinoffs have been, like Annabelle and all. It is so much more better. It not necessarily original, but like just way better than that. So that's a good starting point. B-. Fun ass film to just go and sit down and watch, honestly.
This is definitely some category fraud. You market this as a horror movie, you walk in and you're watching a comedy that is aware of the fact that you are watching a horror movie. Obviously, the marketing was great. Having the little M3GAN dancers pop up seemingly everywhere the week this movie came out helped those things. And I guess that's when it became a gay phenomenon. I'm not quite sure when that jump happened, but like it became a hit in the gay community.
The moment that people saw that dance in the trailer, they were like, oh, this is for us.
Did it really become a hit in the gay community?
Yeah.
Yes. There was an SNL skit this past week where basically they did a M3GAN where M3GAN is like in a gay bar, and that's where the next movie is set. So like acting out a scene where M3GAN's in a gay bar. So like there's been this hit in the gay community.
You think you're on the internet long enough that you've seen it all.
But yeah, like as soon as that first trailer dropped, and like there's that hallway dance that she does. Everyone was like, "Oh, they did that for the gays," and like they just ran with it. So like people have been like recreating that dance on TikTok ever since that trailer dropped, and like it's just become a thing like in the gay community.
The singing and the dancing that M3GAN does in this movie is fucking phenomenal. When she belts out Titanium, it is amazing. This movie, they're really aware of the movie they were trying to make, a dash of memes. A dash of like they understand horror tropes. When M3GAN is like on the table with the other toys that are real toys that don't like move, and they kind of shoot her like a horror way, so she's on the table and she's just dead-eyed looking at the camera, but like she's alive, and we know that like they are aware of horror themes, but really this is just like a graphic comedy movie. But if you market it as a comedy, you're not going to make $100 million because no one goes to the movies to see comedies anymore. So
call it what it is. It's a new age Chucky.
Yeah, basically. But Chucky is a horror movie. Chucky's funny, but it is a horror movie. They're trying to make something scary. M3GAN was trying to make something that made you like. It's a very funny movie. Allison Williams' character is completely awful and flat. The kid is acting crazy, but at least you can understand why the kid's acting crazy. And the way that you arrive at the point where M3GAN is turned into like your best friend to like I must kill is like some of the dumbest writing you will ever see, but it's fun. It never takes itself too seriously. It gets deeper, like you both said, like it gets deeper than you might think at times. And it's just a great time at the movie theater. People want to have a good time in the movie theater, and you're not going to be bored. It's a super quick movie. You'll get your laughs in. You'll see a couple gross things. And, Allison Williams is kind of carving out this little niche, this little horror film niche, which is perfect for her because she's not that good of an actress, in my opinion.
Yeah, not great.
So, it's working out very well for her over there. And I would give this a B. I enjoyed it. It's a B movie for me. And I'm going to watch the next two, M3GAN 3, M3GAN 4. I'm going to watch all of them because they're fun.
There's 1,000% going to be diminishing returns on these, right?
Yeah, but
not if they remain good.
I'm invested.
Well, yeah, duh. Not if they remain good. That's like just like, man. James Harden was good forever, like because he was always good. No, it's eventually gonna like wind up. But like, I just think I think that there is a lane for like these PG-13 horror films. Like, this is how you carve out a space. Like, and this is what we're seeing with movies now, is especially in the horror genre, that people get to take a few more chances with what they're doing. Like, I'm not sure how many chances this is taking, but it is like doing something fun with the horror, the horror genre. We saw it with Barbarian earlier. People have seen X and Pearl, and they're doing something different. They're telling different stories. So I think telling these stories within this horror genre, and Jason Blum has sort of carved that out, that you've been able to do that and somehow make money on it. If you want to follow, this is a case study on, we were talking a couple of weeks ago on how to market these releases. Playing in this movie is how you market these releases. Like, I don't understand how hard it is. You know what I mean? And I'm not a marketing expert. Dex, you're more in that space, but like, it just get it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For like a movie like Barbarian or whatever, where part of the whole thing is that you have no idea what you're about to get, like when you walk into the movie, and that's like the fun of watching the movie. It's way harder to do. But for something like Plane or M3GAN or like, other shit like that, where you know exactly what you're about to get when you walk into the movie, you can just do way more, And so yeah, like they just leaned into that. They're like, it's a movie about a killer doll who like is also funny. So we're gonna give you some of the funny shit and just assume that you will fill in the rest of the like killer doll shit and be okay with like kind of whatever in that space. Your expectations are going to be super low. You're going to go in and you're going to be like, oh, that was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. And then you're going to tell all your friends that it was good. And that's why this shit has what, like a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever we said.
Expectations were low going in.
Yeah, critics were like, okay, this is gonna be some bullshit. And then it's like, oh, it's a little deeper than I thought, and it's still like as fun and funny as they promised it was gonna be. Yeah, positive, like fresh, boom, 94%, word of mouth. Let's go. Like
then you market that.
Yeah. But it's way harder to do that with a movie where you're trying to like kind of keep it under wraps a little bit, like a Barbarian. Obviously, Barbarian had great reviews when it came out, but you can't watch the Barbarian trailer and be like, "Oh, I want to go see that," and then like, be
the next trailer is the Mother.
Yeah, like if you watch the regular Barbarian trailer without someone like telling you about the movie, then you're just like, "Oh, whatever, that looks dumb,"
Yeah.
Side note: that first trailer, we don't talk about it enough, scared the fuck out of me in theaters.
It was super scary, and they literally didn't have they don't tell you what the movie actually is, and so yeah, that's one of the most shocking things I had happen to me in the movie theater last year, which was this Barbarian movie was a scary movie, but all of a sudden Justin Long is riding down the highway singing at the top of his lungs, and he's the biggest douchebag of all time. And now I'm having a great time laughing at this guy who's awful. And now you're like, oh, what this movie really is this, but we were marketed as something different.
I'm not saying it was marketed bad. I just have a feeling that
it was marketed great.
If Jason Blum and Blumhouse had the Barbarian, that it would have made like $200 million. Something about it just screams that to me. But Megan, I don't really have
not for nothing. Incredible, like theater, like big audience movie. Like watching this movie with other people in the movie theater. My theater was pretty full when I went and saw it. I went and saw it
with a bunch of teenagers.
That shit was so much fun. Like just everyone reacting to like everything that happened, like people reacting to Megan busting out titanium, just incredible. Like
when she started galloping like a horse girl or whatever on all fours, somebody in the back of my theater goes, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, I love shit like that. Like, not all the time, obviously. Some of y'all need to just shut the fuck up. We got the movies, but
watching Banshees of Inisherin, you gotta shut the hell up.
Yeah, some of y'all gotta shut the fuck up. But for movies like this, that's part of the fun. So yeah, you can watch it on a streaming service at home or whatever, and it'll still be fun and enjoyable. But it's way more fun when like everyone's laughing at the same shit together.
I loved how they baked in the sequel on purpose because they knew they were probably going to do another one.
Yep.
Film that on purpose. That's incredible. Like just the heat check to be like, let me send these files to another company because we're definitely getting a sequel.
Need it.
And not address that in the rest of the story at all.
I also love that they end. Of course, it's spoiler alert, but it ends with her ending up in their like Alexa or their Siri or whatever the equivalent is. And so like now like Megan lives up there and
she's in the cloud, baby.
She's in the cloud. She's gonna get another body and she's gonna turn up again. The one thing I did find was a weird decision. Maybe it's because they just wanted to keep it short, but there's not a lot of actual kills in the movie. Like she doesn't kill that many people.
Her body count's like 5.
But it's crazy when she does, especially with the kid. Like with the kid, she tore his ass up. And the dog, they didn't show her kill the dog, which I knew they were gonna do. Like you can't just show a dog being slaughtered in any kind of movie, or it wouldn't have made $100 million. I can promise you that people would have been pissed. But you can slaughter humans all you want; nobody cares about them. But she actually didn't kill that many people. But it was just because of how impressive it was of the prosthetics and however they made it look so real. I was always in. It was a fun time. People were laughing. People were laughing a lot in my theater, and it was a very fun time at the movie theater. And it's a movie that they knew what they were making, and they made it very well.
Hot take: Megan wouldn't have caught me lacking. They based this in the Pacific Northwest because nobody has a gun. They had to put this in the most granola place of all time because nobody has a 38. You're just
Megan tried that shit in Texas. It would have been a very different movie.
Gone, blown away. Like, what's this hole in your house? This robot was coming after me.
Her neighbor was also hilarious. Like the little spats with her neighbor were just hilarious. Like, why are y'all yelling at each other about this stupid issue? Yeah, Allison Williams, bad person. her character. Bad
Horrible person. And also, like, definitely going to jail now. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely going to jail. How does she not go to jail?
You are going to big prison. Like, there's 5 dead
murders,
people.
Yeah,
there's 5 dead people because of your stupid science project. And when you start to realize it was dangerous, you just kept putting it back out there. Like, no, you were going to jail.
Immediately when the thing is like, what do you mean? What is death? And you're like, how about we fucking not?
Yeah, no.
Burn it with fire.
Yeah, the first time that I'm like, oh, I didn't program it to do that. No, we shut this whole shit down. Like, nah, we ain't doing.
She's definitely going to jail. M3GAN 2 is going to have multiple M3GANs. This is going to be like an army of M3GANs. So, like, when she's going to jail, their body count is going to get up to like 50, and this woman's got to be locked up or else.
You're going to So this little girl is like 8 years old. Her parents died in a terrible car accident. Her aunt builds a murder doll that kills 5 people and then goes to
including
prison.
A kid.
Yeah. So, like, what the fuck is she about to do while her aunt's in prison?
That's the get lost in the system. That's the world we live in, Dex.
Sad.
It's gonna turn into season 4 of The Wire with M3GANs around. It's gonna be crazy.
Damn.
I will say there was an article that came out because of the success of this movie. Like that actress, that young actress, she was paid like $4,000 a week, which is crazy. But like she is now getting like a $100,000 bonus because of how the success of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Going crazy at cafeteria.
Yeah. Can you imagine? And there's something like it has to, but like there's something in Hollywood where there's a trust where your earnings go into the trust and like no one can really touch it except for like 10% of it or something like that.
Yeah, because they're trying to save it.
They're trying to save parents from spending the money.
Trying to save the kids from their parents, basically.
Yeah, so like she won't quite see that yet, but that is interesting that when she like gets older, she's like, oh shit. M3GAN check came in. But yeah, that's M3GAN, first big film of 2023, along with like Plane. Yeah,
still haven't seen Plane.
Need to see Plane.
I'm gonna see
it. It's exactly
it's
what
no
it looks
ambulance.
Like, and I had
I'm sure it's no ambulance, but you know, well, I'm down for Plane.
Significantly better than ambulance. I'm sorry.
We gotta stop this right now. Please stop this. Please stop this.
Let's get into our. Speaking of ambulance, let's get into our top 5 films of 2023 or of 2022.
Yes. Speaking of ambulance, thank you. I'm glad you said that.
So we're now a month into 2023, and normally we would have done this weeks ago, but again, like it has been for a few years now, not everything that was supposed to like come out came out to where we could see it. A lot of stuff didn't drop on streaming in time. So we're just now catching up to a lot of these movies. But we're going to do our top 5 just so you know, and you can go find them and watch them if you care about our opinion at all. Dex, how many movies did you see? You saw 70 movies?
75.
Nice. 75.
I have my list. I can tell you how many I saw.
I think I got to 50 this year. Tej?
Oh, I'm at like 100 something, but I don't. My list is like old, like any movie that I watch, not just new movies. I don't know how many new movies I watched.
So I did go back and watch a lot of films that I had missed over the years like that this year, and including a few TV series. But let's go Dex, Tej, Royden. We'll do our number 5. Dex, what was your number 5 movie of the year?
At number 5, I have to remember now because I wrote this all out. It was The Northman at 5.
Hell yeah. Best sports movie of the year.
And the best superhero movie.
When he beat that guy to death with that club, I was like, all right, we're in.
When they had that sports scene where they had played the little sports game, and that they have the fucking that whole scene is in the scene before they do the village raid, the one-shotter where they're just like doing the little hype up. There might not be anything that made me feel like that in the movie theater this year, next year, the next 10 years. Nothing might not ever make me feel like that ever again.
This motherfucker Skarsgård caught a spear in the air, turned, pivoted, and threw it back where it came from and killed a guy.
Incredible.
And then raided the goddamn village. Holy shit.
Just mwah.
Like, look, Mo is on here on the Oscars part of this podcast, like trying to cast aspersions on the greatness of the Northman, but I will not have it. I will not have it. So that is an incredible fucking movie. All right.
Just fucking elite, man. I gotta buy that movie. It's on Amazon, by the way. We found where it was.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm about to run that shit back this weekend. That shit is now. I'm getting me excited just thinking about it. That's real cinema.
We talk about it a lot. That would have been a 4-hour movie if Robert Eggers had his way.
Yeah.
Studio interference got in the way, and they gave us the fucking Gladiator.
Release the Egger cut. I'll watch it. I'm in.
Dudes rock. That's all I gotta say about that movie.
That
dudes
better
rock.
than all the Best Picture nominees from last year. Let's take it there.
That's
facts.
Fair.
Well, maybe not better, but definitely more fun.
More fun. Tej, what was your number 5 movie of the year? By the way, we're gonna have a ton of crossover on this. Just giving you.
That was also my number 5 movie of the year.
Okay, hell yeah.
Said enough about it. It's greatness. That was also my number 5 movie.
Nicole Kidman, Freak Bowl.
Holy shit. She was wilding.
She was absolutely wilding, bro.
Grateful for her, but holy shit.
Oh, brother.
Have some couth.
Some wherewithal. My number 5, I'm going to deviate from y'all. Jackass 4.
Great film. Great cinema.
I'm not doing a bit here. It was the funniest film that I saw in 2022. It came out this time last year, and it stuck with me the entire year because it is the hardest that I have laughed in a movie theater in a long time. And if you can do that, you deserve a place on my top 5 of the year. Is it smart? No Jackass film is smart. But look, put comedies in theaters, and it won't be in my top 5. But they don't, so it is. Yeah, I love this movie, man. It fucking rocks.
I've never seen any of the Jackass movies, and I've never seen I don't think I've ever seen like a full episode.
I can't believe you had never seen Jackass.
But
that's like prime. That was like prime high school years for us, by the way. Junior high too.
You're missing out on some elite cinema, brother.
I remember it being like really, really popular. I just never got into it. I just missed it.
Spawned a bunch of idiots on the internet. That is that's all I said. But like, if you haven't seen it, don't watch it around your kids. By the way, but it's hilarious. And you would think that adding a bunch of new cast members and all the guys getting older, at points some of the guys getting older, you're kind of like, ooh, brother, how long can this keep going? But it's still funny. It's just still funny to see like them zap their dicks with tasers. Like, it's just, whatever. But yeah, so Jackass number 4. What's your number 4, Tex?
The Batman. Just
real cinema.
Incredible cinema. There's never been a Batman movie that like played Gotham so well, and like just how shitty Gotham is to live in. They made that perfect. And also like just just how scared criminals are of Batman. Like it's perfect. It's perfectly played. And they do that at the beginning of the movie where they're like, all these random criminals looking into darkness and seeing nothing, but being like, Batman's probably over there. I gotta fucking run. Like, that's just incredible.
I'm vengeance.
The Paul Dano performance is great as the Riddler.
Incredible meme. And he falls off, like the movie falls off a little bit towards the end, like gets a little too big for his britches. Like, on a few rewatches, I'm like, why is Batman leading people through a flooded basketball arena? Because it looks fucking awesome.
It does, but like we're doing a little too much by the end of the movie, but it's still amazing, and it's still in my top 5.
I was debating if I wanted to put it in my top 5, but then I remembered a couple other movies that I had seen this year, and I was like, it is. Look, we've been talking about the down Marvel years, or people have been, but the Batman was the best superhero movie this year. And if you love superhero movies, I understand why you got to put it in your top 5. It kind of got bumped by some prestige films this year for me, but that's top 10. Definitely top 10. And Robert Pattinson is a star, fellas.
Yep. He's got it.
He's a star. Oh, no. This is not how I thought it would go. He should have been nominated. Give him the best supporting actor for that.
Yeah, something.
Incredible cinema. Okay, is my number 4?
Yep.
Your number 4, Teach. Sorry.
My number 4 is Nope. I can't stop watching it. I'm just so taken with it. I just think it's beautiful. I love what Daniel and Kiki are doing. I love the sound of the movie. I love how you get the reveal of the monster throughout the film. I really like the twist of, similar to what we're talking about Barbarian. Everybody thought this was a UFO movie. This is a movie about aliens and how they kind of play with that for about 45 minutes and play on the fact that you think they're aliens. They do a fake alien scene. Like, they play on that, and then they kind of reveal, like, this is actually Jaws, but in the sky. Like, we're making something different than what you thought, but it got you. I just thought that it's just so smart, and I just have a real affinity for Jordan Peele, and I love The Batman, which is not going to make my list, and also there's going to be a very big movie that did not make my list that I also loved, but it just shows how good the year was in cinema. Plus, I want to make sure that I talked about Nope, just in case nobody else picked Nope, because Nope is great. We should.
I didn't have it in, but it's in going back. Like, I was sort of down. Not down on Jordan Peele, but like after the second act of Us, like
you had some questions.
I had some questions, and I think a lot of people did. Is like, can he keep doing it? Well, to me, he did. And he did Spielberg better than Spielberg has done Spielberg in like 5 years. So like or not 5, like 10 years. But like, I just think that film captured something that we hadn't seen, to me, in a long time in cinema, and like the spectacle of it all. And it perfectly encapsulated that. Dex has other opinions. That's fine. I get it if you don't like it. But I think it was brilliantly made, and he's one of the few filmmakers that can do original things and make money off of it, and I love that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disrespect this movie anymore. I've done it enough.
We'll move on.
That's my number 4.
My number 4, speaking of Spielberg, is The Fabelmans.
Incredible.
So good.
Arguable to me. I mean, people love West Side Story. It is his best film to me in the better part of a decade. And, it's his best film in a decade. I mean, he is the best filmmaker of all time. So like, to have a couple of down years is in your 70s is like crazy, that we're like faulting him for that, I guess. But I think that this was a return to form of capturing the childlike wonder and pain that he did in his early in his early films. And I just think that he recaptured something that we hadn't seen since the 80s and 90s from him. And it is fascinating that he is our greatest living filmmaker and still doing it and not slowing down at all. He's just going to keep pumping them out. And he's probably going to win another Oscar for it. So I love that film. I thought it was brilliant.
I loved it too. It's not in my top 5. It's in my top 10. I had it at number 9, but it's incredible. And it's like really, I said this when we first talked about it. It's really rare for people to be able to pull off the like semi-autobiography, like telling their entire life story like he did. Usually when people do that
without it being a circle jerk, like
if you try and go through your whole life story, then it like ends up just being a bad movie because you're just telling random shit from your childhood that's like only kind of related. It's just like some shit you wanted to say, or if you do like you can take the Belfast approach or the Armageddon Time approach for a bad example of a bad movie, where you're like just looking at one like very specific instance in your life, but he was able to like kind of bridge the gap between both, like keeping it connected where it feels like it's all part of one thing. but also like covering his entire life story. I love that. That's so hard to do. And
Well, because it was all based on one theme, one through line.
Yeah,
which was his parents' relationship and his relation to his parents' relationship. But also you saw his love for film throughout there, and how that grew and yada, yada, yada. And not for nothing, we said this in the Fablemans podcast, Steven fucking Spielberg, he gets to make that movie. Sorry.
Yep. Just do whatever you want.
Yep. Sorry.
It's literally whatever he wants. And it's great. And it's heartfelt. And it's a way that we've never seen Spielberg before. But you still got you can tell Steven Spielberg made this movie, not just because it's about him, but also because, they could see certain, Spielbergian touches, I guess. But it's great. And it's phenomenal.
And as movie nerds like we are, it just felt so fucking cool watching young Steven Spielberg just like sitting at the little like film machine, like
figure it out,
fucking chopping this shit up. Like that shit was so fire.
Young Jordan studying game tape.
Yeah. Salt in his shoe.
Number did he freeze?
I don't think
he
so.
froze.
You're good.
He's there.
All right, Dex, you're number 3.
It pains me that this number 3. This will be number 1 in I feel like most years, but I can't put it any higher than 3 this year. Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh.
We've talked about it at length on this podcast already. I'm so excited it got a Best Picture nomination. We actually did that shit. Go us. I'm proud of us. But yeah, Tom Cruise saved cinema. I've never really gotten the whole like IMAX thing until I saw Top Gun Maverick in IMAX, and I was like, oh, that's what this is for. Like, that's why we have this. It's just like truly incredible. And also, like, aside from the cool action shit, we like talked about the screenplay like getting nominated for an Oscar and how like random that felt, but also not for nothing, the storytelling in that movie is so like efficient and like to the point. They get so much across to you in so few words. Like they don't have to waste any time setting shit up. They can literally they can just tell you without telling you, and it's perfect.
It shouldn't have worked.
No, it shouldn't.
40 years later, it should not have worked. And it'll appear on my list, not to spoil the rest of my list. So I'll talk about it then. Tej, what's your number 3?
I just want to give a little praise to Top Gun Maverick, which is fucking phenomenal, but I had it at number 6, so it's not on my list.
Oh, man.
My number 3 is Tar.
Same. Let's talk about it.
It is just Cate Blanchett is giving such a wondrous performance. And I love the fact that they were able to present a character to me at the center of this film that my feelings about where they were, who they were, where they stood with me, what I thought of them changed so drastically throughout the film. And it is so dope to present a movie in that way. You can't convince me that Cate Blanchett has not been secretly doing symphony orchestrating for the last 20 years because she just looks so natural. She's freaking German. She's running. She's screaming. Her hand movements. She has to do so much in this performance, and it's just amazing to watch.
She convinced the internet that Lydia Tarr was a real person.
People really, it feels like such a real. They wrote a character that felt so real, that felt so lived in, and that felt like we understood completely what the world was around her. In knowing nothing about orchestra or knowing no German, like it just felt so dope to be in that story. She was getting fits off. Like it just was an incredible film that opened with a damn near 10-minute credit sequence. Because I know I got real cinema for you. You're gonna sit here and wait until I do my credits first. It's just a well-made movie. It looks great, and I just really enjoyed it. It's just a great movie.
Just an incredible heat check to put the credits first, and then immediately, like, the next scene is some guy reading an introduction to
a real columnist for, like, the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Not an actor.
They're just like, let's do some exposition out here, baby. Like, we got the credits out here. We did that. 10 minutes into this movie, let's start all the exposition right here. This kid's gonna read it to you. Like,
they started the movie with a podcast. They started the movie with a 10-minute New Yorker podcast or NPR podcast and said, "Okay, now the movie's starting. Now the credits over. Let's go do podcast now." It's perfect.
And it works. It's so fucking good. That will appear on my list later.
It is the most acting that has been done in a movie this year. The most.
It is literally she does
disrespectful
everything.
to Babylon, but
that's true.
They're doing something.
Margot Robbie did all the things as well. So
they're doing something in
all
that
the
movie. There's something.
And no disrespect to Kate Blanchett, Margot Robbie looked fucking phenomenal while doing all those things, by the way. So we should give her a little bit of credit. I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I know she doesn't swing that way, but Lydia Tarr could get it.
yeah, absolutely. Take
It's a
that suit
power-
off, girl.
Hella could get it. Lydia Tarr's not my type, but Hella, that's my type.
It's a power thing. My number 3 is Tar. I mean, no disrespect to Michelle Yeoh, who may win Best Actress. It's the best performance that I've seen in a movie in maybe years.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, genuinely, like I walked out if nothing else from that movie. Like if you go and you watch it when it comes on Peacock, she is in 98% of the shots of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is her. It is just Kate Blanchett. Like ladies and gentlemen, her Kate Blanchett. It is just outstanding. Obviously, Todd Field coming back after like 12 years off of not making movies to like come back and like put this together and give us a kind of on the nose, but not preachy version of cancel culture, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
One that we can all kind of stomach and think about more so than some of these films have done.
With all due respect to Space Jam 2, we should give respect to the greatest movie ever made, Space Jam 2.
Jesus. It doesn't make you side one way or the other, which I think is very smart. It's kind of at times like a horror movie to me, or a thriller at the very least.
Yeah.
Even though you're not technically running from a entity, but it is. I think it's just brilliantly paced movie, brilliantly acted, best acted movie I think of the year, and surprised it didn't get any like best supporting actress nominations, especially for her partner in the movie. But it deserves everything that it gets. It's not my top movie because I will say this: why it won't win Best Picture. It's the most cynical movie of the year, and most
easily.
Yeah, and if it did win, it would be the most mean-spirited movie to win an Oscar in a long time. So I don't know if it will win that. That speaks to my like the black soul that I have, I think at times, the cynic in me. But it is a mean movie at times. So that's why it ranks as like number 3 for me.
I think it'll win maybe one of the screenplay or it's up for, or maybe director. But I agree, it's not going to win Best Picture because it is way too cynical, and that's not typically the movies that win. But I'm glad it was recognized for sure. It's a great film.
Dex, you're number 2.
I have Everything Everywhere All at Once at number 2.
Same.
And again, another movie that would be number 1 in almost any other year. But I'll talk about number 1 when I get there. But yeah, it's incredible. I loved it. I loved it from the moment I saw it, and I was like, that's immediately walking out of the theater. That's one of my favorite films of all time. Like immediately. Went and saw it in theaters 2 more times. Bought it on Blu-ray. Probably gonna watch it again this weekend. Probably gonna go watch it again when like they do the Oscar re-releases in theaters. It's just incredible and fun. And first of all, everyone knows they nailed like the concept of the multiverse or whatever. Like I don't want to do the whole it's a better multiverse than Marvel shit. That's boring. But they nailed it. Got it across like just super clearly. You understand what it is, you understand how it works, you understand like the issues that it causes and all this, you understand what they're fighting for, what they're fighting against, and it's just like gets all of that across to you so just cleanly and easily. anybody can watch this movie and understand what the fuck is going on, right? Like I've seen people say like there's too much happening in this movie, but it's like grow up. Like they give it to you. They give it to you in such a great way that if you don't get it, that's on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can understand when people say like, oh, there's too much going on for Babylon or whatever. There is too much going on. It's chaotic and blah blah blah. But everything everywhere all at once, like, no, you're just dumb if you like don't get it. They break it down so good. And like the heart in it, Kiki Kwan, incredible. Him telling her that he would love to just like do laundry and taxes with her in another life.
Oh,
Beautiful.
hey, tell that to your girl tonight. By
the
way.
Is that up for any editing awards at the Oscars? Because I felt like the editing, I mean, it has to be that the editing of that movie is mind-blowingly good. Mind-blowingly good.
Incredible. And the Michelle Yeoh of it all. What a queen. Like, I just fucking love that movie. And yeah, any other year probably it would be my number one, but this year it's number 2.
Did one of you all have your TV on?
Yeah, I do.
I'm hearing it in the background. If you can just like lower it just like a tad. The Everything Everywhere All at Once this is my number 2, by the way, as well. Everything Everywhere All at Once is the most emotion that I've felt at a movie this year. Good, bad, happy, melancholy, otherwise. It made you feel things. And, you know, it did it in a way that I hadn't experienced before. It's also one of the funniest films of the year.
Hilarious.
It's exactly like as kids who grew up watching Adult Swim every night when they weren't supposed to, when their parents told them to go to bed. This is exactly the movie that it was made for us. It was made for millennials by millennials. And it made me feel things that I hadn't felt in a movie in a long time. And it captured something that I think is going to resonate for a long time. And there's a reason that it has such a huge hive online. Not to mention, again, the Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Sue and the Kiwi Kwan of it all.
Also pretty incredible how like it being a movie that was like partially shot during COVID just doesn't come up. Like, because you just really, if you didn't know that, most people wouldn't be able to tell.
Right.
Like, yeah, you just like can't really see the seams of that unless you're looking for it, which is rare. I feel like a lot of the movies from like that were shot at the height of COVID or whatever, you can tell like, oh yeah, they had to like
work around this.
Work around.
You can definitely tell in like Marvel movies too.
Yeah, but with Everything Everywhere All at Once, had I not known that, I wouldn't have been able to grab that. Like some of the scenes where it's like Michelle Yeoh and Kiki Kwan sitting in a car together, they like were shot on separate continents. Like you wouldn't be able to tell that, you know?
Wow.
What, really?
Yeah. Like
that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was at any given point the best film but we'll talk about my favorite film here coming up. Tej, what was your number 2?
My number 2 was The Fabelmans. So we've already talked about it. It's just incredible cinema. Steven Spielberg really is the GOAT. So I had The Fabelmans at number 2.
All right. Dex, what's your number 1 film?
Tar, baby.
Year? Hell yeah, Tar.
Tar. Fucking loved it. I have it on Blu-ray. I can't wait to watch it again. I'll probably watch it again on Peacock too, just because it's so good. It's so, I've tweeted this the other day. It's so fucking hard to make a movie like that, to tell a story that way, where, you know, it's not a bunch of narration. It's not, you know, a bunch of just other bullshit, cheap storytelling like that. You get pretty much all of the story just from Cate Blanchett, like, and her vibes throughout the movie.
Like, bad or otherwise.
You watch her and you're just like, holy shit. Like how? Like it feels like this big, larger than life person who it feels like impossible that she'd be a real person. But then also like this very like small and intimate like character who feels like she must be real because she's so human. It's crazy. Like I've never seen anything like it. The fucking sound of it in a movie theater, incredible. Like these scenes where it just like hard cuts to her orchestrating and then, like you just get like hit in the face
good, man.
by this orchestra. Just so much about it. I love it so fucking much.
That shit
and then
is
the ending
fucking cinema.
ending just hits every time for me. Like, oh, that's so good. You're watching her in like off in this foreign country, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then you find out what's going on, and you're like, oh shit, damn.
You
God, I
cannot
love that.
start without me. I am
time. But when I move my hand, time stops. God, so
my number one movie is Ambulance. No, I'm just kidding. My number one movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just there's not a lot you can say about this movie in terms of it's just so smart. It's so perfectly written. It's so perfectly performed. It's incredibly hilarious. The action is good. The editing is mind blowing. The way that they're able to, like Dex said, like this is a potentially complicated movie and story, but it's just not. It's so boiled down, and they do it so well. They present the movie itself visually so well that everything just kind of makes sense in the way that it presents itself, and the story and the science behind it and all the stuff that's happening kind of just falls into place very easily to tell this very heartfelt family story. It's just incredible. Nothing made me feel like that at the movies this year. Like there have been a great year of movies, but when I walked out of the movie theater, I was like, that's probably gonna be my favorite movie of the year. And it's persistent. I've seen some great shit, but it stands alone in what they were able to accomplish and be able to bring that kind of story to so many different people. It's just awesome. Michelle Yeoh is amazing. She's incredible all the time. But the performance that the daughter's giving is quite literally mind blowing. Like I'm glad that she's being recognized for what she did, because she just did. It was the coolest villain that I saw on screen this year. We saw some great villains this year.
I feel like she deserves that award, man.
She was great. Like she was the best villain we saw, and this is a year that we saw Neymar and we saw Christian Bale and we saw Dano and the Batman, and she was the coolest villain that I saw.
And we saw my guy in Puss in Boots, but you know,
facts. She was the coolest villain I saw this year. She was so authentic. The way that you could kind of always tell of the things that were at play in her heart and the things that she was going through and why she was going and making the decisions that she was making. It just was the coolest movie I've ever seen. And that's my number one.
All hail Jobu. What is it? Jobu
Tabaki?
Jobu Tabaki.
Yeah.
We're probably butchering that. And all the EEAO stands are gonna kill us. But
we are amongst you.
Like, we are hot.
We're hot.
My number one, not even a bit. Top Gun Maverick, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go to the fucking danger zone, boys. This movie rocks. This movie rules. And I don't care what you say. It was the most fun that I've ever had in a theater, maybe ever. It was incredible cinema that brought us all back together, even though COVID was still in the streets. Your dad, your uncle, who all didn't get the vaccine, went and saw that movie together and breathed each other's air. And that shit hit us in the chest like a sledgehammer.
And it's like, bro, even the people who want to do like the whole Twitter discourse thing or whatever, you talk to them about Top Gun Maverick in real life, and they're like, "Oh, military propaganda, not that good." Everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like that movie fucking bang. You talk to real normal people in real life about this movie, all of them love it, like unanimously.
Yeah, it's the movie everyone went and saw, like we talked about way earlier in a podcast that may have come out before this or is a part of this one. But it just everyone went. And that's Tom Cruise calling right now, and
he's on my phone.
Look, Tom doesn't really go out in public, but he knows how to make fucking movies, and like they had it down to a science, and it's so crazy that they filmed this movie in 2019 and they had a banger on their hands and they're like, not yet. Hold. Unleash hell. And then it was just unreal. I've never seen anything like it. And there was another movie that came out that people I think enjoyed, but it wasn't the best. It's called Devotion. Another movie with
Jonathan Majors and
and Glenn Powell in planes. And watching it, I was just going, this is missing something. And you know what it was missing? People in fucking jets. It was missing people in actual planes because they put the actors in there and Tom Cruise was pulling negative G's. That's like, it is unlike anything that I've ever seen before or probably will ever. I mean, until he goes to space and kills himself in space. But like,
yeah, which is definitely happening.
Yeah. So
sign me up.
It is the most fun that I've had in movie theaters. It holds a special place in my heart. I got to see it with my dad, my entire family. You just don't get to go to the movies with your family that much anymore. You know, as you grow older, like you live in different places, whatever. My whole family, my wife, my brother, his wife, my sister, my brother-in-law, the kid, we all went and saw the movie. And my dad, who is in love with the first movie, loves flying planes, just sat there like a little kid. And I got to watch my dad watch the movie. And so that was just another thing that added to it for me. Number one movie of 2022. It brought back theaters. Top Gun, Maverick.
Yeah, we make the joke all the time that Tom Cruise saves cinema, but like not joking. Like dead ass.
But actually.
He literally saved cinema. So, I would have had the Batman and Top Gun on probably in my top 3 or 4, maybe top 1 and 2 last year. And this year they're in my 6 and 7, which is crazy because I love those two films. Love. And they didn't even crack my top 5.
Yeah. I mean, look, I hope that they re-release Top Gun Maverick, and I think eventually they will for like anniversaries and stuff, and they probably may re-release it leading up to the Oscars. So like if you see it on theaters, like, and you didn't get to catch it, if you're one of the 5 people that didn't see it in theaters, go check it out. I'm serious, man.
In the biggest format you can afford. If it's Dolby, if it's IMAX, whatever the fuck it is, pay the extra.
Gotta do it. Pay the extra.
Movies that honorable mentions for me, Glass Onion, awesome. Movie that I look, y'all haven't seen All Quiet on the Western Front. That movie hit. I'm just gonna
I can't wait to watch it.
Chest. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this week for sure.
Barbarian, obviously. Prey, the best action movie of last year.
That movie bags.
I mean, besides Top Gun, but like
Prey bangs.
Awesome. Hustle for me. I loved Hustle.
Great.
Yeah.
And Marcel the Shell with Shoes On and Turning Red.
The Woman King,
obviously, yeah. But we
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Puss in Boots, real cinema.
Like unironically, dude, that shit is so good.
I tried to sit down to watch it like on my computer at work the other day when I wasn't doing anything, and then it was just the loudest, most bright thing I've ever turned on in my entire life, and I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta watch this at home." Like, this anyway. Anything else?
Nope, we did it.
Nah,
go see Megan.
Go to bed, fam.
All right. That has been a One Take Podcast. You can find us at One Take Pod, the number One Take Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the like. You can rate, download, subscribe on Apple and Spotify. Give us a 5-star review on both. We really appreciate those of you who have done that. Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh, baby.
All right. This has been a One Take Podcast, man. A long one, or maybe just like 2 decently sized podcasts. Who knows?